Hello everybody, welcome back to Grimdawn Fangs of Asterkarn. Last we left off, we managed to do basically everything there is to do in the Broken Hills region, went to Smuggler's Pass, reached all the way to Homestead, cleared the western side, the croplands, the farmland, as well as cleared off some of the lingering stuff that we left behind in the Devil's Crossing region, specifically the Guardian of Dreek up here, starting the Hidden Path quest, which also allowed us to access the Guardian of Solal in Broken Hills. We also cleared the Corrupted Tomb of Ravenkur up in Broken Hills, though that was rather nasty. The only thing that we left behind so far is the Steps of Torment. I went in there, it was nasty but doable, but Grand Prix Zartuzalan was simply too much for us. We were basically unable to do any meaningful damage to him, and he was more or less one-shotting us. Everything in there was much higher level than us. That was the case also with the Guardian of Dreek, which we needed multiple attempts and needed to come back a little later once we've gained some levels to be able to finally kill him. And Narenkur was a similar story. He was simply too strong when we went there first, so I had to come back a little later. So it seems like as long as we are fighting stuff that is appropriate to our level, we're doing okay. Not stellar, our damage could be better, our survivability could be better, but we are just about managing. But the moment we push a little too far off the beaten path, start heading into enemies that are higher level than us, we really can't stand up to those. So we need to be a little bit more careful. I guess I need to be a little bit more careful choosing my targets. But we are not quite done with Homestead yet. We should be heading up towards Bloodgrove and eventually towards Asterkarn, and I'm hoping to make good progress there tonight. But we still have a few things left undone. We haven't been to the Conflagration, and we haven't done the Pine Barrens Shaded Basin Tyrant's Hold area. So that's where I'm going to head next. I was considering going up to the Bloodgrove first to maybe farm up some of those scepters that we are using. But then I remembered, well, I don't actually have to do that, because we can find the scepters somewhere else, where we find our first set in Burwich Outskirts by the Sanctum of Salazar. So I went back there post-stream and did a little bit of farming. Found two, they weren't great, but they are still an improvement over what we have. Unfortunately, they are level 70. We simply, at our current level range, which is level 64, we cannot find any lower ones because of the way that monster infrequent drops have been changed. So currently, whatever your level range is for your monster infrequents, you will always get the higher one. Which means it becomes increasingly unlikely as you level up to find monster infrequents that are within your, or rather under your level. So you will usually have to wait a little bit. That is, I must say, an unfortunate change that I'm hoping will be reverted, because it was implemented to solve a separate issue that can already be addressed in a different way. And we had the fortune of not really being impacted by this change up to this point, but as we go further and leveling up slows down, we will start running into this issue more and more. So it will become more and more necessary to start farming things a little bit ahead of time, so that we can actually equip them at an appropriate moment, which isn't the ideal way for things to go, but we make do with what we have currently. So I'm going to head out, starting with Pine Barrens. There's quite a few quests that way, which might give us enough experience to maybe equip the level 70s. Probably not by the time we're done with Pine Barrens Conflagration. We will probably need a few levels through Blood Grove, but hopefully this stream I can pick up an upgrade. We've also still haven't figured out what the NPC in Twin Falls is for, Johnny the Scar. It's either unlocks something after we repair the bridge leading to Twin Falls, or he has to have something to do with a quest up in the expansion. I'm curious why a character that has something to do with the expansion is all the way down here, but only one way to find out. So let's push forward. Hopefully this area is not going to be scaling beyond us. It shouldn't. Maybe as we head closer to Tyrant's Hold, things will get a little rougher, but these enemies, I mean, it is a 68, which is a decent distance from our level, but it really is just primarily about the heroes. Or hero groups. Even individual heroes shouldn't be that much of a problem, but larger hero groups, that's where we start to struggle. I was considering improving our AoE, since we are currently using scepters that support Chaos Werewolf and the use of Sigil of Consumption on the occultist side. We could actually lean into that and just play that. There we go with that cluster of heroes and their entrapment. Bramble guys, new in the expansion. Empowered Maleficus is still going to be worse. It is a 65, so I could swap into it in the meantime while we're waiting for the 70s. I found another Maleficus earlier, but I think it wasn't this good because the damage difference wasn't that high according to the tooltip. Or maybe it was even a lower level version of it. I don't know if it's a 50 or 40 or something like that. Before you find the empowered version. We should soon be starting to get into the level range where we get some of the better stuff for us in terms of legendaries and epics. Ooh, that's an ancient. That is going to be rough. So I'm gonna clear space around it. There's our poison gland. I'm going to turn that in immediately, because otherwise these manticores will keep dropping these and it will just pollute the screen with a bunch of text. We were tasked to collect these by one of these death marks from the Black Legion. Deathmark Cadres. Any luck with the manticores? I have the venom you need. Blalby, that gland is bulging with venom, a fine sample. As promised, a manticore blade of your own, which is the manticore longsword. Again, level 70, but not really useful for us either way. Should serve you well against less friendly humans and hopefully Chthonians. Say, you seem to be quite capable. If you're interested in some coin, I've got a hunt I could use some assistance with. What are you after? This one's a hunt I've been personally struggling with. Local stories speak of an ancient thorn horror known as Old Bloodbriar. As it turns out, some of the stories are true, and Old Bloodbriar has been reported terrorizing the farmers in Homestead. I've managed to find some tracks, but I lost them out in the shaded basin to the south. Might be hiding out in one of the caves out there, but I can't be sure. Just a moment, I need to check something. Yeah, okay. If you hunt down Old Bloodbriar, I will see that my superiors back in Homestead hear about your contributions. Heck, I'll throw in a few coins as a bounty. Okay, so we now have another target. Ah, the poison gland doesn't disappear. I was hoping it would, but it should stop dropping. And since we opened the portal, I might as well start the totem, because this is gonna be nasty, I'm sure. I believe some of these can petrify us, and I'm not sure what our petrify resistance is at. Probably not much. Ooh, that was a hard hit. Basilisk petrified us. Is there more gonna be spawning, or are we done? That wasn't too bad. I mean, it hurts. We did almost die, but... Leave me Alpha Horn. That is something we're going to need a long time from now. That is a quests for like the first quarter, first third of the first expansion, which we are not going to be doing as the first expansion. We are going to be going there as a second expansion, if we can afford to. There might be some needs to actually dip into the second expansion, Forgotten Gods, if we need to transform, if we find some pieces of our set but don't have all of them for endgame. I might have to go to Forgotten Gods and pick up a quest there that allows us to transmute one piece of a set into another. So if we have some redundancies or we find the recipe to craft our set, we'll be able to transform it. There is the option of not doing that and simply having another character, higher level character, do the crafting for us, but in this playthrough at least I want to do stuff with all on this character, so I might have to break sequencing of the campaign a little bit, but I mean, it shouldn't be a big story disruption. Plus I'm probably only doing the story for myself. I'm not sure how many viewers actually care about hearing the story. They can read that for themselves. Don't need to hear me trying to pronounce the tiny text on the screen. And usually fail at it. What is our bleed resistance? 66. Thinking about the old Bloodbriar quest, because as the name suggests, he is kind of bleeding, if I remember correctly. Even some of these manticores are, maybe. Poison, and I think they have some bleeding attacks as well. So I should maybe be on the lookout for potential ways to fix our bleed resistance, if need be. Okay, there's Mogara up there. I'm gonna again clear the area around first. I believe she has a decently tight leash range, so there's little chance that she'll be chasing us all the way around here, but I would be clearing this space anyway, might as well do it before the fight. Just in the off chance it becomes relevant. Okay, how bad is it? Up in here. Oh, she's unders. Well, let's avoid that then. She did bring us low. But she's dead. Goodie. Did they change the highlighting of enemies? They used to just have a normal outline, but sometimes they turn red for some reason. But not always. So that's probably not behaving as it should. Not working as intended. Maybe it's the HDR lighting change, which I am using the HDR lighting just to test it out. Not that I have a HDR monitor, so maybe I'm not even benefiting from that really. I don't know how exactly it works. One would think if you do not have an HDR monitor, it wouldn't even allow you to check that option, but I don't quite understand it. If it doesn't work, then well, taking it off doesn't really hurt anything either. Oh yeah, we killed Mogara, so we should turn in the quest again. It's probably not going to be enough to give us a level, but I think maybe there's a follow-up anyway. I'm gonna take a sip. Okay. How goes the hunt? Mogara lies dead. Impressive, that beast put one of my men out of commission for a week. Your iron as promised. If you're willing, I've got more work for a capable hunter such as yourself. What do you need done? You almost got a level. You have proven yourself against Mogara, I'll give you that, but there are far greater threats still out there. A great spider, the farmers call Ungoliax, another Lord of the Rings reference. I believe Ungoliant was the progenitor of Shelob. Ungoliax the Gloomweaver has her lair in a cavern somewhere within the shaded basin to the south. The spawn crawl out of the darkest places of the world in order to terrorize the locals and gather food for their ravenous queen. This must end. Destroy the Spider Queen and I will see that you are rewarded with iron bits. Shall we? I believe this is a cave that is not going to be marked, and it has multiple entrances. One from Bloodbrier's cave, which we still haven't found, and one from the outside. Oh, that's a reflective, we don't want to hit that, or we will bleed ourselves to death. Given that our bleed resistance is low and Werewolf does a decent amount of bleed. Even though we don't scale it. Well, we do a little bit, because Occultist has some, not here, but some bleed scaling here. Plus it scales with Cunning, which is an attribute that we've been investing in the majority of our points. That's everything in Pine Barrens. There's our level up. So with 65 we can swap to the Maleficus if we deem it worthwhile. Where is it? Oh, we have a Manticore Waist Guard. Those are new. Berserker focused. Vitality to piercing, that's not beneficial. Some health. What about the resistance? Vitality, bleeding, entrapment, health regen, slow res. I mean, that is decent. It is again level 70 though. So we would have to wait. Can we afford to swap this out? Our chaos res would go down, as would our poison. Our fire can take it. And we'll be improving vitality, which we already have maxed, and bleeding, which, yeah, sure, we would be increasing bleeding but losing the poison. I guess it might not be worth it. Although the +1 to all skills in Berserker... I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Let's put it somewhere here. We also have new shoulders that we can use. This armor is vitality and bleeding. It's for us. Where's the Maleficus? There it is. Yeah, so if we swap it with our offhand, why is our offhand so much weaker than the main hand? We have all the same components. The augments don't matter. Oh, one has 104% chaos damage, the other one does not. Plus flat chaos damage. Yeah, okay. And the Maleficus would give us attack speed as well. Yeah, that's a swap that's worth doing. So I'm gonna hop back to town, make some changes at the inventor, because we need Riftstone moved from one weapon to another. Keep the add-on. And also wanted to apply an augment. Unfortunately, we do not yet have weapon augments that help our damage, only some defenses. And the other thing I was considering, yeah, this is going to be saved, and we have the shoulders. I'm going to lose bleeding resistance, and I will be increasing Aether, which is no longer relevant. I needed Aether to help with the amalgamation, but that is no longer the case. I can keep these in reserve. I feel like I ever need the Aether resistance. I'm not sure I'm gonna remember that I have them, but currently, if I'm going to be heading toward Bloodbriar and fighting all of these bleed-focused enemies, then this is not a good time to make a swap. These ones can wait. This can wait. That's a lot of levels away from us. You know what? Let's just do all of it. Come on. Sell everything else. What was that? Oh yeah, that's one of those Basilisk medals. +3 to aspect of the Guardian. Is that... I mean, our medal doesn't do much at all. But this is again level 70. I guess I can keep it, but not use it now. Anti-Core Venom is not useful to us. And I can just check the sale window for chaos damage if I missed anything. Body armor. Second right. Hey. How are you doing? Sahib Krab? If I'm pronouncing that correctly. Elemental resistance. I will be losing a bunch of peers, which I can afford. The Aether I cannot afford. Just for some percent health, percent chaos damage. I would be losing Voracity, Blood of Dreek. No, that's not worth it. I'm going to swap just put the medal in the stash.
Got something you need stashed?
The stash. Yeah, level 70 is now going to be very important. I wanted to invest my skill points into the resistance reduction. It's been enlightening. Over the years that I've not been playing, I've forgotten the various level scalings of certain areas, and I've been ramming my head against some walls, going to places I shouldn't go. Hopefully that's mostly done with. The areas that are coming up would be more linear, shall we say, without too many side paths that leads to harder stuff than we should be dealing with. And then the question is how difficult and how upscaled the expansion is going to be. Because I plan to go there either after the vanilla game boss or possibly even immediately from Fort Icon. Despite the fact that we are allegedly supposed to do Fangs of Asterkarn after Ashes of Malmuth, I'm gonna do it out of sequence. But hey, what else is new? Doing stuff at the wrong time seems to be the trademark of this stream. These Grobbles are easy so far. It's until we get the big packs and heroes. Okay, where is that lair? Body up here, knock knock. Really? Oh, there we have a marker. That will be for Bloodbriar, I believe, not Ungoliax. So let's hope he doesn't bleed us to death. He's a big boy too. And again, since I haven't played in the last 3 years, I have no idea how he was reworked when it comes to Sunder. So he might have some surprises in store for us. And I'm wrong, I guess. This is the Ungoliax cave, not the Bloodbriar. Ungoliax should be fine, if I remember correctly. She spams a lot of spiders, but I don't remember her being particularly dangerous in person. Could be wrong. A lot has changed, a lot of bosses have been rebalanced for this expansion. Bone spike, not for us. It is rather high level up in here. Thank you. Glad to hear that. I'm also going to be eventually doing some videos, not just streams, but that's gonna be at first going to require me actually finishing a build in this expansion. So after I'm finished with this, I will make like a video guide and post it also on the forums. But until then, it's just gonna be live streaming. And then I'm hoping to start churning out the builds a little faster. I'm taking it very slow on this character, on this first playthrough, reading through all the lore, and also leveling without any like initial prep work of doing shrines on lower difficulties or picking up the low card set for faster leveling. So I'm basically making this as hard on myself as I can. Yeah, she's chill. Childred Mantle. Yeah, not for us. And again, items that are simply too far in terms of level for us to be able to equip them anytime soon. Thorn Hides, that's not gonna be... Oh, those are better. 721 physique though. Besides, those are retaliation pants, that's not our deal. Gildam Arcanum Commendation. Aether and elemental damage. I mean, our metal, like I said, our metal does suck, so I could replace this absolutely. I would lose some stun duration and 464 health. I do actually want more health, so I guess not. Okay, devotion, devotion, devotion. We did finish Toad. Where did I say that I was heading next? I could take the Raven. I could take Scholar's Light, but again, none of it is going to be immediately useful. Because we are playing a Chaos build that is going to turn into a cold build, but we are already building up a cold devotion tree. I believe, let me just check my builds to make sure. By the way, build is both in the description of the stream, in the video description, and if you put in exclamation mark build in chat, you will get a link as well. Let me just check my devotion points, devotion map. Yeah, Raven or Crown would be next. What does Crown give me? Elemental damage, defensive ability, spirit, some resistances. And for Crown we still need more green, so yeah, I guess I go for Raven. Yeah, it's a bit of a issue with me, like putting the link to the build in the video description, because I keep changing the build slightly, not massively, but like I keep updating it. So the stream will always have the up-to-date link that I'm currently planning on working with. But you know, once I upload the video, the link is just gonna be there. I would have to update it every time I change anything, and I would have to update it on all the videos. So the link in the chat is always going to be the most up-to-date one. And it doesn't include any of the ascended affixes from the new expansion, because I'm not quite sure how realistic it is to get the ones you want. I don't know if you can reroll them, or if you have to keep crafting new ones, or if you have to keep finding new items to place the affix onto it, and once you placed it, you cannot undo it. I don't know how that's all going to work. I avoided spoilers on that. So, build is currently just working with the gear we're used to, without ascensions. Okay, this is our Bloodbriar cave. Yeah, Briarthorn shields, not for us. It's surprising, I guess that's the curse of playing an expansion-focused character. Aside from those two Bloodsworn Scepters that we found near Salazar's Sanctum, we haven't really had much luck in finding items that support our build. At least the build that we are playing currently, or the build that we are planning to play in the future. So it's going to all have to come together at endgame, or rather at higher levels. Unfortunate. Okay, gonna open a portal here, because Bloodbriar might be a meanie. Meanie, mani, mo. Okay, what are we dealing with? I believe he has some shotgun projectiles, so maybe being too close to him might be ill-advised. Yeah, well, it's not too bad. I guess we're life-stealing fast enough that his bleed doesn't have time to do a lot of damage. Yeah, not bad. Guardsman Spoilers, or no, Breastplate. Second piece of a set that we found, of the same set, I should say. Vulnerability is useful, but this is a shield, so no. That's an amulet. That would cost us all of our crowd control resistances, so absolutely not. Imperial Pendant. Once again, all of our crowd control resistances are on our amulet, so that can't go. Getting stunned or frozen or otherwise debilitated is the main way that we're going to die. If we don't get one shot, we have a decent lifesteal, but if we get frozen, our lifesteal is useless. So crowd control is important. Thing to watch out for. The cave that was behind, the entrance past Bloodbriar would have led us back into the cave where we fought the big spider, so we don't need to go there. I should turn in the quests to get some of those rewards, XP. And then it's just Tyrant's Hold, Arkovian Docks, and we can start heading north. Just gonna take a drink. You returned, with a few new bruises I might add. Old Bloodbriar is no more. Well done, the death of that horrid beast will go a long way towards restoring order to this region. The superiors will be pleased to hear of this, you can be sure of it. Yeah, reputation with Black Legion, some XP, some money. Deathmark Volar. Any progress with Spider Queen, the Gloomweaver is no more. You're efficient, I like it. You would do well in the death marks. I've got your iron bits right here and one last mission if you are up for it. What do you need? Bloodfeast the Ruthless is a vicious Drangul that has driven the local Grobels into a frenzy. With the Drangul rallying them under a single banner, the Grobels are becoming a serious threat to the region that cannot be ignored. If you slay Bloodfeast, then the Grobels should scatter and return to their tribal groups. Bloodfeast makes his home in a nearby ruined fort known as Tyrant's Hold to the east. Slay him and I will provide you with some of the rare materials we have gathered on our hunts. Let's do that. Come on. Enter the portal. So now it's just Tyrant's Hold. It's the quest. And that might be nasty. I've had several encounters in the past, like long time ago. And I was leveling characters on Veteran. And everything was going fine, Veteran was easy for me, no problem. Then I entered Tyrant's Hold, and the entirety of Tyrant's Hold was fine. Except on 2 separate occasions with 2 separate builds, I would just turn a corner and there would be just one Grobel. You would think, oh, no problem, and he swung his weapon and took 3,500 health off of me. And given that on Veteran that was my max, he just one-shot me. A normal little goblin. And I never figured out why. My armor was good, my health was respectable for my level, and somehow I just got one-tapped. That's next devotion point. And we are taking Raven primarily, not just for the efficient green affinity, but also that is one of the few ways that we can like boost our pets without going out of our way for a specific pet devotion that does basically nothing for us. Even though currently we are not using pets, still the 3% offensive ability that the devotion provides is going to be useful because a lot of our stuff will rely on crits. So we need to have high offensive ability to crit reliably. Come here, you little gobos. Ooh, that's a bunch of heroes. Okay, let's lure them slowly. Or clear the stuff around first. Void Touch. I don't believe this guy used to have a Void Touched version. So that's technically a new hero, even though the modifier on the hero is not new. Void Touched enemies have existed, but I don't believe this monster type had a Void Touched variant. Okay, where's the other one? Nabinok. Okay, kill the shamans first. Same thing that you do with Fallen back in Diablo 2. Kill the shamans first. Ember effigy, that's for support of hand for Demolitionist. Some resistance reduction. Not for us, no point even reading that. What's our money situation? 1.5 million. Not bad. I'm not sure yet if, or rather, I don't know if the crafting recipes that have been added in Things of Asterkarn require a lot of money, so might be collecting a little bit more than I need. Okay, that's this. Anything up here? That's a no. And there is Tyrant's Hold entrance. It's gonna be a lot of traps, a lot of grobels, and a lot of bleeding. says he's untouchable, but looks more like Aether touched. Or corrupted, I should say. I guess it's just the green. Someone's healing him. Stop that. Oh, we had a double rare. I didn't even notice. What is that? Caustic. Ah, that's a offhand. What is this for? Oh yeah, we've already found one of these Pierced Phantasmal Blades and Onslaught. So that would be a potential Reaver item. Now in here is a blacksmith. Allows you to craft legendaries, random legendaries for rare materials. I believe the highest ones you can craft are like 65 maybe. I don't remember. Like definitely not the tippity top end game ones. Those are, there are blacksmiths for those as well, but this is not him. Fortunately, I can't really think of any particular legendaries that we would want. I mean, we could always get a better ring or a better belt, but I'm not sure it's really worth investing the materials into these items when we don't even have a concrete plan what we want to do with them. If you're looking for something specific, these blacksmiths are very good. Instead of having to just randomly farm legendaries to get a ring that you're looking for, you can just craft a couple dozen rings and chances are good you will find what you're looking for. If you have the materials. The material that he uses is very rare. And only found in the second expansion. Yeah. Oh, no. This guy uses base ones. Scratch that. Ignore me completely. Yeah. I think all of them will be like, let's just craft one. I think it's going to be over our level. Invoker's Shard. 68. It's not too far off. And what is this that we found? Memory of Wulfrin Bloodbeard. The broken axe of the legendary berserker Wulfrin Bloodbeard, who was said to bear the strength of 3 Kern or 5 Erulians as the stories go. Oh, so this is going to be relevant for some quests in Fangs of Asterkarn. Which leads me to believe that the guy that we found in Twin Falls, Johnny the Scar, is also probably going to be relevant to some quest in the expansion and not something that was added to the base game. Where's the entrance? There it is. Okay, so we're going to be carrying this axe around for a long time. I have no idea how deep that quest is to the expansion. And I believe we have to do like a big run around here. No, that interconnects elsewhere. Let me just... I know it's obsessive that I'm clearing everything fully, but at least for this playthrough. For the next ones I might start skipping stuff a little bit more. Kill the shamans. There we go. Okay, get our level up. Still not going to try to invest in the Hellhound, given that I've already tried. Granted, I tried in the worst place I could have possibly done that in. A place that was 20 levels over me. No wonder the Hellhound struggled. I couldn't do much there either. But it's such a point sink, and I don't really have the luxury of spending points on a mediocre pet when it's unsupported by our equipment. That's a dead end. Right, nothing in here. I pick up the lore note. I'm gonna read it after we deal with this area. I don't want to be surprised by some Grobles mid-reading. Savage Blade, that's again the same Pierce PB builds or item. Should also maybe consider looking into some other relics, because I've been using the same one basically since I got the blacksmith. There should definitely be something better for Chaos. I somehow missed the entrance to that area. I'm gonna backtrack out of here this way anyway, because there is an exit out of this keep through a back door here, but that back door leads us back to the portal to Jagged Wastes, and we still haven't done everything around Tyrant's Hold, so I do want to exit the normal way. Easy enough. Okay, let's see how bad that Blood Feast is. No, we need to first clear everything. Okay, no heroes left. Seems like not bad at all. And as I keep up my curses. I believe he has an enrage after 50%. Oh, lower than that. But yeah, it doesn't make him stronger by enough to threaten us. I do notice that my energy is going down quite a lot if I don't have lengthy breaks in between fighting. Hopefully that doesn't end up being a problem for endgame, because I didn't even consider my energy sustain. For the endgame build, I thought it would be fine. Voidwalker footpaths, those are Chaos Boots, and we can equip them. Bone Chilling Cry, that would cost us some resistance reduction. Vitality and Chaos Res. They are actually worse, unfortunately. Wrong resistances, the damage typing is correct, but that also holds true for the boots that we are already using. The skill bonuses are worse, it would cost me shit ton of acid resistance, and the proc isn't worth all that. So as nice as it is to be dropping legendary boots of the correct damage type, these are not good enough for us. Don't think there was some hidden entrance somewhere here as well. Like a breakable wall. Isn't there? Oh, I already broke it. Okay. So let's just finish off the last areas that I didn't explore here. Oh, there's another thing here that I missed. All sorts of hidden areas everywhere. What was that? That was some graphical glitch. So south we go. Nope, this is a dead end. Ah, what a labyrinth. Okay, yeah, this way. This is where we didn't go. Look at all them juicy Grobles. Time to make some Grobel jam. Hello, gents. Yeah, so just goes to show, as long as we are dealing with appropriately leveled enemies, we're fine. It's the moment we start pushing into more difficult territory that we simply do not have the juice to hold up there. Guardian of Dree kicked our ass, Elena kicked our ass. Roderathis is so far the only boss that I didn't manage to kill, despite all my attempts. But we have a quest that will lead us there much later on, when we are in Fort Icon, so it will be a good time to retry. So that's this dealt with. Now I'm gonna just finish off, even though we have dealt with the quests, there is still an area to explore. South of here. I also didn't read the lore notes. I could do that before they start accumulating and I end up reading for 15 minutes at a time. Yeah, this is all clear, so I might as well. Hopefully, my reading will be a little better than last time, because the text is a little bit small. So, the Journal of Duke Cavanil. This makes no sense. I've been ordered to dismiss my army without pay. Furthermore, they've given the men their weapons and armor as final payment. What are they thinking? This order can only result in anarchy. Half these men will become bandits or worse. If dismissed without pay, they won't have a second thought about turning their blade against the Empire. Without this garrison, the Grobels will reclaim this area unchallenged. The road from Darkvale to Devil's Crossing will become impassable. We have been holding this fort since the fall of the Drangul savages, but they keep pressing to take it back. I have requested more men and weapons from Erulan, and this is the response I get in return? Madness. I have half a mind to ignore this decree, and if my wife and son were here with me, I would. Upon further reflection, these men might also turn against me. Not that I feel I have mistreated them, but they could easily view me as part of the aristocracy that has put them in this predicament. I must leave before they receive this news, or I fear I will never see my family again. Duke Cavanil, commander of Fort Tyrant. Yeah, should I spoil it? Basically, this is an ethereal plot. The ethereals took control of the command and basically created a party of disgruntled soldiers to be harassing the countryside so that the Empire is easier to take over because forces are being dismissed and people are being harassed and being disorganized. Ethereals are cunts, if you can't tell. Imperial Proclamation. By Imperial Proclamation, Duke Beon Cavanil is hereby ordered to disband the 31st Division of the garrison currently stationed in Tyrant's Hold. All soldiers are immediately released from active service without pay. Soldiers may take their weapons and armor as compensation. Immediately following the disbandment of the forces at Tyrant's Hold, Duke Cavanil is relieved of his command and ordered to present himself before the High Marshal Nicholas Mainville. Failure to report on the 1st of the month will constitute forfeiture of all land and titles to the Imperium. Imperial Justicar Rainer Finch. Which is probably an ethereal. Although we do not get confirmation of this as far as I know. Maybe Inquisitor Creed mentions something about it when we reach Fort Icon. Okay, so this is our last encounter with the Cronley gang. As far as I know, maybe they added some more in for Fangs of Asterkarn, but it wouldn't make much sense. Cronley's gang is small. What would they be doing all the way up there? Oh, my inventory is full. So I'm gonna turn in the quests. And then go to Homestead and sell my stuff. Now goes the battle against Bloodfeast. It wasn't easy, but Bloodfeast is dead. Actually, I disagree, it was quite easy. Oh, respected with Black Legion. You are a brutal and effective fighter. I'd hate to run into you on a battlefield. Glad to have you on our side. I will be sure to include you in my report back to Captain Sommer in Homestead. Very well. I don't believe this unlocks anything in particular for us with the Black Legion. I'm gonna check anyway, since I'm going to shop. Okay, the Black Legion trader is up here, next to the blacksmith.
See anything you like?
Respected. Yeah, these are level 50 items. There's gonna be... I'm gonna just check for chaos damage. Oh, there is some, but it's worse. Doom bolts. It is a bunch of health. Aether and chaos resistance at the cost of bleeding. Our bleeding is too weak. Aether and chaos again. But it would cost us a ton of pierce, which can afford it. It's also less armor. And the skill points are bad. Or rather, the skill points that we are getting from our item are good. Doombolt doesn't matter to us. This. Elemental resistance, pierce resistance. We could actually afford this. The only resistance that would go lower than cap, well, both cold and lightning would go below cap. But our Aether would improve. Our damage would increase. We have some cooldown reduction. Some of our heals. Yeah, but no, this costs us health. 500 health, we cannot afford this. Okay, so everything goes. Chaos damage, just sell everything. Move all the components. No, cannot swap that. That is a lot of poison ras. Holy shit. We could afford the pierce. It is a bit of health. Yeah, but against... Bone Chilling Cry points are probably more useful than Blood of Drake or Veracity, so I could. If it stays relevant for the next 4 levels, then I could swap it. And there is our quest items for the future. What about these shoulders? No. Bit of maintenance. Okay, a lot of maintenance. That's a caster item that I won't have spirits to equip. How are we doing with Cronley? Despised. I mean, it's more than we would normally have. It's been buffed, the reputation gain with them, quite considerably, but yeah, we would still need to do some farming to get Nemesis, which I do plan to do, get Nemesis with every faction. It might get annoying for the expansion factions because I won't have any warrants with them to increase the speed at which I gather infamy. But if we do it on this character, then we never have to do it with anybody else. Because I will just farm up the warrants for future. And then we will never have to farm them. What's the modifier on this area? There is one up in the corner, I didn't even check it, and I don't remember them anymore. Burn damage, fire damage, okay. That's fine, that's one of our strongest resistances. Even if they reduce our resistance, we are still overcapped. Now, one enemy that I'm worried about here is the boss of this area for Cronley. Because he deals Aether damage, and that is still a rather weakish resistance for us. And he is usually dangerous. Oh, those are new. Merrick Aether Touch doesn't ring a bell. So yeah, even old factions got new heroes. Like the Drangul that was void touched, that I've never seen before. Bloodstained Note, Bruiser Romanov's Note. Those are random drops from enemies, although Bruiser Romanov you would think would drop from Bruiser Romanov, but I don't think I fought him. I think he was among the heroes that I killed. Not that I'm paying attention to that, I'm spending too much time talking, too little time focusing. Okay, and there's a Rudnik. I'm going to open a portal, because this could go bad. Clear the area. But I'm gonna open the portal here, so that it's not in the way. I should... Ouch! Should back him into a corner. He likes to hop around. Alright. So you're bad news. We can solve this though. If I swap my components on the weapons, I can increase my Aether resistance quite significantly. Unless there is a different solution that is available to me. Oh, that reminds me, I wanted to check the relics for chaos damage. What options do we have? Terror. And that's a 10% damage reduction, that's nice. This could be a good option. Level 35, I should have done this a long time ago. Aether's attack speed, casting speed. Oblivion is nice and all, but we are not going to be using the granted skill on it. Soul House Decimation. You know, as much as I like this, I think I'm actually best off using Terror. Even though I'm not going to be using the granted skill on it, because... I mean, I could, but it doesn't really fit the rotation, and I have to use it every 4 seconds. And it terrifies enemies, that is the main problem. It terrifies enemies, which would mean they would run away from us. But the 10% damage reduction, that is very handy. It's a big boost to our survivability. So I need Inferno, Bloody, and Void Touched. There's Inferno. Bloody Whetstone requires... oh shit. Blessed and Hollowed for each. And Void Touched. Terror. There we go. What? Oh, there it is. Okay, that's that, and now I'm gonna check what my Aether resistance solutions are. So again, Aether Salt... sorry, Aether Soul, which I could actually. My Chaos Res is kind of okay. Although, no, I do not want to be dropping it. Because I will be coming up into a very Chaos-focused area, so I do want it capped. So the only place we can get it otherwise... Runestone we already have on head armor. Yeah, is the Purified Salt. I'm gonna only apply one to one of our weapons. It's gonna cost us some damage, but I'm gonna undo it after. Keep item. Okay, good thing I opened the portal. So now not only do we resist his damage more, but we also reduce his damage by 10%. Just by attacking him. Whew. Still hurts though. I would rather you didn't contribute to this fight, if you would be so kind. Ooh, that hurts. What is suddenly with you? We were doing so well. Now you're being a meanie. Please leave. And you stop jumping around. Ouch. That was my goal. Are you still alive? There we go. Whew. Okay, he was nasty. And then, you know what, I'm gonna immediately undo what I did. Unless I need the purified salt again for Conflagration, which I don't think I will. Keep item. Which reminds me, did it remove the augment? It did remove the augment.
Be safe out there.
Oh no, never mind, I didn't even apply the augment, did I? So let's craft the Rift Stone again.
I do the best I can with what I've got.
There we go, back to normal.
If you find any blueprints,
And in we go again. But if you sometimes see like the game being a little bit jaggy when I'm just moving around, I mean it could be the stream, but most of the time I think it's the game itself. Unfortunately, it's built on a rather old engine, and sometimes it takes it has some peculiarities where maybe it's like loading stuff in or just being janky, stuttering for no reason. He's really adamant at slowing me down, isn't he? Time warped. Yeah, that makes sense. Again, I don't remember there being a time warped skeleton before. Let's go. There we go. So, this doesn't really bring us anything, but I might as well since it's here. Repair the bridge. The bridge, once connected to Tyrant's Hold to Old Tarkovia. It must be restored before we can cross it. And we're back here. This is where we exited when we dealt with Cronley. Your resolve is impressive, traveler. Where one may see a dead end, you saw potential. The restoration of this bridge will be a boon to many travelers. Farewell. Now I'm gonna check, but I have serious doubts that anything has changed. Over here. Hello. Don't mind me. Passing through. Excuse me, I'm walking here. Yeah, no new dialogue, so it has to be something to do with the new expansion. Might as well kill these guys while I'm here. As supporter keeps healing its allies. Kill that first. Okay, not gonna fight these guys, no point. I mean, there is a point, of course, it's experience. Okay, back we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Again, the slows. What's my slow resistance? 28%. Oh, that's not great. Okay, so that's most of this area done. Couple more skellies left. Oh, come on. Go up. Don't wiggle around. I know you're a doggo and butt wiggling is what you do, but not in front of the ladies, please. Bloodstained note. I'm having some luck in getting these randomly dropped notes from enemies all of a sudden. Got 3 just in this area, which are not guaranteed. Or maybe the bruiser one, if I actually kill the bruiser. I wasn't paying attention. What have you guys been playing? It's your first build in Fangs. I would be curious if there is like a poll, starting builds for people. What percentage of people is playing werewolf? Because I think that's such an automatic introduction, the shapeshifting class. I wouldn't be surprised if like 80% of people started werewolf. Okay, that's that. So now, Conflagration, and then we head off into the Blood Grove. That's back to Homestead. Hopefully Conflagration doesn't scale away from us. I already poked my head in for a little bit, but I didn't go too far, so maybe it gets worse as we go on. I'm gonna just send everything, all the materials. I'm gonna read the lore notes so I don't accidentally sell them or they don't get in the way. I'm also going to move the relic to my shared stash because this is no longer relevant and it can be used for crafting something else. My inventory is a bit of a mess currently because I haven't reorganized anything since they added the new stash space.
I'll hold on to that for you. I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
Would have read the Rutnik Blaster. Maybe it was good. I do plan to at some point make a Rutnik Blaster build, but I'm probably not gonna save leveling items for future builds. Otherwise I would run out of space so fast. Oh, I got 2 Bloodstained notes. It's the same one. Never mind. So that's redundant. I didn't even know you could find the same one. I guess if I haven't read it yet, it can drop again.
Iron well spent.
Actually, that's more notes than I expected. Which one was first? Bruiser Romanov? Yeah, I guess that one. The Bruiser Romanov's note. The boss says I done good when I smashed them rover skulls for hiding their food. Says I'm next in line to join him and his brothers in the New Dawn. I've seen what those boys can do with them green crystals in their flesh. They could tear a man in half like a loaf of bread. But I heard them screaming too when Cronley put the crystals in. Sounded worse than the last time he got his hands on a rover woman. Ugh, Jesus. But a little pain's not about to turn me into some knife-stabbing wimp. Nobody's gonna outmuscle the bruiser around here. Not very smart, are you? Bloodstained notes. Third time this pale-skinned duo in robes, a man and a woman, has shown up at the hideout. Boss says to let them through, so I let them through. The whole camp's on edge whenever those two show up. Maybe it's their eyes. That unsettling green glow reminds me of the dead ones. Or maybe I'm just agitated because the crystals currently stuck in my bag seem to vibrate whenever the duo's around, like they're ready to rip loose. The voices I hear when I sleep are already enough to make a man tense. The others told me that they hear them too, but none of us can remember what the whispers say. Boss says it will pass though, that it's just a part of ascending into the ranks of the glorious army. This new dawn of his had damn better be worth it. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting some Cronley lore that we missed during in the mines. Okay, so this one can go, because we can't read it again. We're on our own. That's also Cronley lore. This is what dropped from Rutnik, the Aether guy that was shooting us and managed to kill us. We're on our own. Cronley's lost it, I'm telling you. Bastards got in his head that we can just march on over to Devil's Crossing and take the place like they was dying in there. For what? Revenge? Urban's small fish and that settlement's low on supplies. They're as good as dead. Taking it is a fool's errand anyway. With the bridge cut, it's practically an unassailable fortress. Darius is gonna throw lives at it. Yeah, we got us them crystals in our backs, making every man feel like 100. But that does us no good when the only way to Devil's Crossing is up a sheer cliff and a bullet to the brains. No, Cronley and I are through. Me and the boys is headed for easier targets. To the west, like big farmlands, no doubt unspoiled by what's going down in the towns and villages. Farmers will be easy pickings and the food should last us the year before we pack up and move on again. No sense in sticking around this disjointed crew no longer. Now who's with me? Rutnik. And the last one, this is an Arkovian lore note. The scale strike balance. Another one of those where I'm thinking, shouldn't at least some of the Arkovians be pissed that Uroboruk cursed them? But no, they all seem to be kind of accepting that that's what needed to happen. Move this away. So, the scale strike balance. It is a strange sensation, or should I say lack of it, to witness the world around me without tactile sensation. I hold a forkful to my mouth, yet the weight of the fork is non-existent to my hand. The act itself is just a gesture. Food offers no flavor anymore. In a way, that is a blessing, for the stench of decay no longer bothers me either. What remained of the putrid flesh upon my bones has all but rotted away, and with it rots away my mind. Putting pen to paper becomes increasingly difficult, as my thoughts wander to emptiness. It is no longer that mystical silence of daydreaming, where the mind explores its reaches, but the absolute absence of anything at all. That, I suppose, is the end to the curse. An eternity of emptiness awaits us all. Outside my home, the harbor is alight with the orange glow of massive flames. Judging by the shouts and noise, my countrymen have set themselves to burning the ships. To what end, I cannot say. Perhaps the arson fills them with a small flicker of purpose and life. For me, I still find solace in philosophy and parchment. For as long as my mind remains capable of it... For as long as my mind remains capable of it. For example, one may consider the curse which befell our lands to be divine punishment, handed down upon us by for our hubris. I am a skeptic, yet even I cannot deny the irony of undeath condemning people hell-bent on exterminating necromancy. If the gods truly exist, then they have a sick sense of humor and justice. The scales of Ulkama, it appears, have struck a balance in the end. Nafor, scholar of Arkovia. Yeah, so again, a guy that's kind of okay with it. Nobody's mad at the necromancer. I find that suspicious. So, let's see how bad Conflagration is. And there we're off to the Bloody Grove. Which sounds just so romantic, doesn't it? Yeah, so these guys are level 69. Say it with me. Nice. which is just fine for us, but I'm not sure if it keeps going up as we go deeper. These enemies might still be technically considered like just the exterior on the path to Homestead, but deeper in it might be different. This guy's 70. Oh yeah, there's these crystals, and oh, come on, let me attack. I want to farm those for the materials, because those are very handy and annoying to farm. There's a lot of components that require a lot of those crystals. Although I believe they have been made a little less hungry. I think the numbers may have been adjusted this patch. Oh, we have a detonation site. This leads to another challenge dungeon that we are going to avoid for now. Because if we could not fight Tartuzilan in Steps of Torment, then there's no way we're succeeding there. Again, this red highlight. I don't know what's causing it. Sometimes the enemies highlight normally with just an outline, and sometimes it's just a big red blob. $71s. The boss at the end is going to be significantly higher level, but we might be able to tank it, which... No, we might actually have to go recraft the Aether Salt or Purified Salt to increase our Aether resistance again. Just for that fight. You're not taking much damage, are you? Oh, enemies have more health regen. Okay. But not that much health. 6% is not massive. I guess the fact that they're regenerating a lot will slow us down if our DPS isn't high already. You cannot burst anybody really. You have to wear them down all the time. By the way, how's the audio? Everything good? I've done some tinkering with it, and I mean, I do a lot of testing myself, but still. Always better to get a second opinion. Also, OBS cannot be trusted with those audio settings sometimes, because it keeps changing for me, without me having actually changed anything. It almost screwed my first stream. Okay, kill that crystal and get out of there before we burn up. Ouch. That was the wrong dodge. Ouchie. Oh, there's a totem. Why are they fighting? Why are they fighting each other? Aren't they all on the same side? It's all ethereals. Oh, it's an ancient one. Yikes. Okay, I do not like the fact that our escape route leads into fire. So I'm going to clear northward first, so that we have some more space. Okay, open the portal. Okay, this should be enough kiting space, right? Or, well, let's finish what we started. Oh, why did I stop attacking all of a sudden? They frozen? Okay, the center, that's a pistol, not for us. Oh, and I gained a level I didn't even notice. Alright. How bad is this? I should kill the freezer. And the summoner. Yeah, they definitely try, but somehow we're staying on top of it so far. Alright, that was the most successful ancient totem that I've fought so far. Goody. Hopefully the boss up here is going to be similarly easy. Because he can definitely hurt. I also... did I invest all of my... I did. All of my devotion points. We're almost halfway through with our devotion points. That's horrifying. I still haven't really taken anything super important. A lot of the good stuff is still far away. I hope there's a lot of devotion shrines in the expansion, because that's where we're going to be headed first, and if it's devotion point starved, I'm gonna be really weak for a while. Okay, open the portal here, so I don't have to run through Aether Fire if I die to the boss. Okay, how bad is this? Level 72. So far so good. But the worst damage type he could be dealing to us. Keeps spamming ground effects. Sure not taking a lot of damage, is he? Ow. Damn it, dude. I don't think it's gonna get any better when he lifts off at half health. Ooh, boy. Did Ghoul proc? I'm not seeing Ghoul proc, that's weird. Did it unassign itself, maybe? Okay, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah. I might need that purified salt to make this comfortable. Nope. I'm not eating that. Thank you. Also not a fan of that one. Not sure how much damage it would do, but... oh, it's not too bad. Almost mistimed it. Ground effects. Okay, I need to make some distance. Oh, my proc healed me. Come on, just die already. Uh-oh. Get me out of here. Not easy, but could be worse considering our resistances. Doesn't hit as hard as I expected. Was afraid I wouldn't just be able to stand there at all. Since we already have a portal here, might as well. Okay, Swift should go first so he doesn't speed up his allies. What was that? Holy hell. Again, I need to check my procs. I feel like Ghoul is not triggering for some reason. Is it assigned? It is. It is assigned to Werewolf. I feel like it's I've not been seeing it activate. Okay, Rhinestone leg guards. We've already found those ones. Pulsecorn, that's a shield. No, thank you. Okay, let's invest our devotion points. Gonna finish the... Not gonna finish, but gonna get ahead. This Raven. Pick up the cannons that we came here for. And we can head on to Black Grove. And depending on what time it is, maybe try to make it to Asterkarn. What time is it? It's been an hour and a half already. Man, time flies. This must be the cannons weapons master Borov was referring to. Claim the resource for the Black Legion. There we go. And our one-shot chest. Iron Lord Demolisher. This is a weapon that I'm really looking forward to using. Not on this character, but... like... Demolish the granted skill. Plus 100% crit damage. Holy shit. That is gonna be brutal. As if crit stacking wasn't good enough already. Yikes. So, sell our stuff. I'm gonna type up Chaos again, just in case we found something useful. No, I should type in Chaos damage, not... I don't want to see resistances. Lightning, poison, bleeding. I mean... we could... Poison replaces itself, the chaos would be going down though. So no, even though the bleeding would be helpful. This one is higher level, Bone Chilling Cry, Bleeding Aether. Okay, this is a good one. I do want this. Fortunately don't have the level for it yet. I should put it somewhere that I know it's intended for future use. And not something I'm gonna sell later. Because we're only not even a whole level away from that one. I'll send everything to the stash. And make some money. This beautiful thing. Also got the illusion for it now. So our other two-handed characters can use it. What is this? This is weak. Okay, that's that, right? All the bags empty.
See you around.
So we have all our quests. I cannot currently even click on this because it will jump up and cover my minimap. And then I would have to relaunch the game, I found. It's misbehaving. So let's head out. Oh no, I didn't talk to Borov yet. Of the cannons, that's... He's hiding down here, so it's easy to miss. You're still in one piece, I suppose that means you didn't try to enter the Conflagration then. Wise choice. Actually, I went out there. The cannons are secured. There they are. Well, I'll be damned. You got more guts than brains, but you won't find me complaining when those cannons are back in our hands. I'll have some men sent out there to hold them back immediately. You've done the Legion a huge service, thank you. I would hate to be one of those men, because they have to drag those cannons through the Aether Fire. It hurt enough when I had to just jump through it as a werewolf. A speedy monster. But dragging a cannon through that? No thank you, couldn't pay me enough. Actually, you probably could. So our chaos resistance is okay, our Aether is weak, but we won't have to deal with too much of that. There is one area in here that is Aether flavored. Oh, Infernal again, I hate these guys. They hurt so bad. They deal physical damage, not just fire. And this is our first Void Touch totem. Thankfully, just a basic one, not Forsaken or Ancient. Doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. It's an arcane, isn't it? Yeah, that's an arcane. That's also a new one. These guys didn't have an arcane hero before. Main issue with these guys isn't gonna be that they are doing nasty damage to me, it's gonna be the fact that they're gonna be highly resistant to mine. Because I'm dealing chaos right now. And probably for the next 30-ish levels. I don't see a way to swap to the intended build until we have every piece that we need. And that's all endgame. That isn't like a mid-level version of what we're trying to do. A lot of stuff. Could also maybe look into crafting some weapons or belts. Because I keep looking through these greens for the right affixes, but why don't I just make some? Granted, these come for free, the ones I would craft would cost me resources, but it would also save me time reading a whole lot of inventory text. And I could start filtering out only down to monster infrequents and legendaries. And keep the normal rares out of sight. Because that is a lot of inventory clutter. There's going to be one boss coming up that I'm kind of curious about. Because even with high chaos resistance, he can hurt a lot, I believe. At least he used to in the past. I believe, what is his name? Bolvar, I think? I know he always wrecked my new characters when I was playing on Veteran. Okay, that's clear. There is one branch, but it will reconnect. So we don't have to backtrack. I could maybe start investing in that Sigil of Consumption for now to maybe increase my AoE, because if I'm fighting larger groups, it is kind of taking a while to get to all of them. I'm just clawing them a few at a time. I do have some synergy here, reducing the cooldown of Sigil of Consumption if I crit with this leap ability skill. Okay, this is the waypoint for the factions that we allied with. So these guys, Diamond's Chosen, are now hostile, and this is inaccessible to us, even though he doesn't say it. Your standing with Diamond's Chosen does not permit you to enter. But the Necromancers will let us in. I'll take a drink. Master Varuk.
May the specter of death guard your path.
You must be the representative from the Black Legion. Come, come, there is much to be done. You wanted to speak with me? If you are to fight alongside the Order of Death's Vigil, then first you must prove yourself to us. Show us that you do not fear death, and we will show you its secrets. What must I do? One of our most prominent members, Malkadar, second only to the Keeper, was recently slain by a Chthonian ambush. His remains are now in the possession of the cultists, somewhere out in the Blood Grove. We cannot lose a mind like Malkadar. The Keeper has called for the rite of resurrection to be performed on the revered necromancer. It falls to you, my aspiring initiate, to venture into the Blood Grove and recover Malkadar's remains. What is the rite of resurrection? It is a sacred ritual performed in dire times to bring back a fallen member of the Order. It is not resurrection in the literal sense. Malkadar will not be returned to his mortal form. Instead, he will continue to serve the Order as a revenant. Can I count on you to retrieve what's left of him? There we go. Let's kick some ass. Although, first I actually do need to backtrack, because, well, I don't need to, but to clear this out, we do definitely need all the experience we can get, so shouldn't be skipping areas. I might regret it later. I thought I picked you up, come on. Nothing in here. These guys can drop the scepters that we're using. Unfortunately they don't this time. But they would be higher level than we are anyway. So it would be another pair of like level 70s. Which I already have in the stash waiting for me. Because I went back to Salazar's Sanctum in Burwich Outskirts to refarm them at a higher level. Currently the one that I'm using is level 35. Well, it's 40 because I applied some augment to it, but baseline it is 35, and that is just 30 levels behind. We really shouldn't be using that anymore. I should have probably refarmed them somewhere earlier, so that they drop as level 50 or something, and I can use them already. But unfortunately, I failed to do so. Renal Oberak, do I remember you? Suggest you turn back travel. The Blood Grove is teeming with cult of Chthon and worse. I watched as a rift door itself opened before my eyes and sucked in several men. It vanished just as quickly. If you feel the air tingling with strange energy, back away immediately. What about the other scouts? Lost, taken by the cult. The lucky ones died during the fighting, the rest... What was beyond the rift? The rift seemed to be highly unstable. The only scouts that went through did not do so willingly, and we never saw them again. What else is out there? Blackmane manticores are running wild now that there isn't anyone around to keep them away from the roads. Then there's the Order of Death's Vigil and the Kaiman's Chosen. Those two groups of fanatics have been at each other's throats for weeks. I hope you weren't planning on heading north to Fort Icon. Actually, I was. You have no idea how much. Darkvale has been completely overrun by the Bloodswarm. Thanks for the info. Okay, so now we have to be fighting Kaiman's Chosen as well. Couldn't be helped. Can't please everyone. I've actually never tried joining... Because Kaiman's Chosen will not let you join them if you are playing a Necromancer. They just hate Necromancers. But I've never tried to join them as a character that only had one class or one mastery picked, and then added Necromancer Mastery after he was already allied with Kaiman's Chosen. I don't know, I doubt they will reject you, but there might be some new lines that they say, but I never tried that. By the time I'm reaching Homestead, even on Veteran, I already have the second class locked in. It would be a worthwhile experiment. I mean, I'm sure people do know, because some people have played classless for God knows how long, and then you can assign mastery whenever you want. So people have definitely encountered it. I just haven't seen any mentions of it. Yeah, these are not taking a lot of damage. Doesn't help that I removed the, what was it, Corruption Relic, which was reducing enemy chaos resistance by 8%. So in that respect our damage went down, but our survivability went up, because the relic that I'm using currently is giving us a 10% damage reduction to anything we hit. I never tried Terror. What does it look like? Yeah, enemies just run away from us. That is not something we want to use. Get rid of it. If I wasn't a melee character, sure, but I do not want to be chasing stuff. Nathaniel Thorn. Stay back, we've got ourselves a Taken to burn. What's going on here? We caught this Taken trying to cast some ethereal magic, was probably planning on corrupting the whole area with her wicked aether fire. So we tied her up and figured we'd give her a little fire of our own. Only sure way to be rid of this taint. Okay, so we have a choice here. Either we let them burn her or we defend her. Neither outcome is particularly important, it just differs what kind of item you get out of it, but in either case, the item isn't crucial to anything. I wish to speak to the Taken first. Here to gloat over Nathaniel's prize? Want to look me in the eye before you light the torch? I suppose it's a waste of breath to tell you that I am not a Taken. But what are you? These farmers wouldn't know a Taken if it walked in on them fornicating with a goat. Nice. I like you already, Ralia. Look, I may have dabbled in the arcane here and there, maybe cursed a few mongrels for getting too touchy, but I am not some ethereal's puppet. How do I know you're telling the truth? Ralia stares at you, her eyes piercing through you. Perhaps because you, of all people, should know better than to accuse people of being Taken. I will stop them. There's no way to talk them out of it. Either you are killing her or you're killing them. If you try to be diplomatic, they will still attack. I hate to admit, for a while there I thought I was as good as dead. Thank you for my freedom. How did Nathaniel get the best of you? They must have seen me working the cauldron, saw some aether glow and jumped to their own crazy conclusions. They were on me before I could cast a single spell. I may have access to powers beyond most men, but I am no ethereal. Here, take this. It is a paltry gift, but the least I could offer my savior. I will not forget this kindness. Farewell. Goodbye. We will see her later. As long as you don't burn her. But that is the first expansion where she reappears, so that's a long way away. Okay, we have some of the dead scouts from Black Legion, which we need to collect the insignia for, so that they can give them a quote-unquote proper burial. Okay, now at level 68 we can equip the belts that I am carrying with me. Another Callful Blood. I should have read the first one so that it doesn't reappear. So the belts. I would need to swap the poison and acid dress, right? Yeah, I would. Okay, so I'm gonna do that in Devil's Crossing before we proceed. Just to recheck that the resistances are okay. Costs me chaos, but increases aether by a lot. Increases my health, increases my damage. Yeah, it is worth it. So keep the add-on, slap it onto this.
Bring me back
And while I'm here, might as well sell stuff.
You see anything you like?
So send this off, look up for chaos damage. Yeah, that's the Chaos Raven. I've already found this once. Would be funny, but again, there's no point investing in pets yet. I had a modifier for Hellhound, and when I tried it, it was still terrible. Because I don't have the itemization nor the devotions for it.
See you around.
Wanted to check also if I have something in the stash maybe that I wanted to take as I leveled up. No, this is too far. I cannot afford this because of resistance reasons, right? It would tank my... No, bleeding is okay now. What would it tank? Elemental 32. Yeah, all of my elemental resistances would go down. So no, I cannot. These are not too far away.
I'll keep an eye on this.
Okay, I'm gonna read the lore notes. Oh, this is page 2. I'm not gonna read this until I find the previous page. The Call of Blood. Throw this away. My whole life I have reveled in the spilling of blood. For years I have been driven to hunt in the shadows, lurking and haunting alone. Sorry, hunting alone. But I am alone no longer. At long last I have found what has called to me. Chthon has whispered to me and the grim dawn has released my shackles. Now I take my pleasure and collect the blood for my lord. It fills my heart and warms my soul to watch the last drops of blood flow. The old world was not understanding of my need. But now a new power has risen and Chthon has called on me. And those who do not answer the call will be my prey. Yeah, so sure, just recruit sadists. Seems reasonable. Totally going to save the world. People like that. Okay. So, more scouting ahead. There is one area that I should avoid for now. There is a mine, or a quarry, I should say, that will have a hero spawn in there after I have progressed a certain quest with the Order of Death's Vigil. So I'm going to steer clear of that area for now and come back once I have completed the appropriate quests for the Order. Otherwise I would have to backtrack there again. The hero simply does not appear until the quest is available. A good thing about this place is enemies will be fighting each other a lot. Because we have Kaiman's Chosen and the Bloodsworn, and also occasionally some of those Manticores. And there's Order of Death's Vigil fighting on our side, so there will be a lot of distractions for enemies. I wanted to finish this. How far off are we? Okay. Maybe some more levels can still be... Can I tell? Yeah, I can tell. There is still more space for skill points in there. Okay, so we need to find the lumber mill, but that's gonna be a bit further up and then towards the west, while the area that I'm trying to avoid for now is going to be to the northeast. Those are allies. More scouts. Where is it? There it is. We need 5. We have 3 now. Now this tree is going to be important later, not currently. But I'm going to have to come back here. There's another hidden quest that is only available on Ultimate. That is related to Dela Thornsbury, the girl in Homestead that we read her journal. She had some like fanciful tale of her fighting her brother. We're going to be speaking to her in coming expansions as well. Okay, this is a Forsaken one. That might be nasty. I mean, our chaos resistance is good. Not maxed anymore, but should be decent. Chance of... Okay, there's an arcane guy that needs to die first. I still don't even know what would happen if I get dispelled as a werewolf. Does it just turn off my werewolf form? That would be a disaster, because that turns off all of my attacks. I'm not keen to test it here. I might eventually just isolate one arcane and try to get myself dispelled on purpose. Just so I know what I'm getting into. Especially in Shattered Realm. It can be so chaotic that you simply miss an arcane hero. They don't give much experience anymore, it's sad. Those level 70 scepters are much further away than I thought. Okay, that's the Malkadar's remains. We need... Lavalin's note page 3, we're still missing page 1. And there's this last scout. So we can turn these quests in. So first one is in Sorrow's Bastion. The one disadvantage of allying with the Necromancers is the run distance. Getting into Kaiman's Chosen hideouts, it's like right there, but this is a little longer. I wish there was a checkpoint inside instead of outside. Have you done as I asked, Initiate? Yes, I have the remains. You have entered the pit of despair and emerged unscathed. Impressive. Perhaps you truly are worthy of the order. Should you be interested, the next task is both an opportunity to strike out at the Legion's enemies and to aid our cause. What is it? The Cult of Chthon is experienced in summoning rituals, something we can use to our advantage. We will take what we need from the cult, while crippling them in the process. Interested? The cult uses chthonic seals of binding to maintain the rifts into the void. Many of their more powerful members carry these on their person at all times. Should the cult be denied these seals, then their rituals will destabilize, denying them valuable reinforcements. Their loss is our gain. Bring me the seals so that we can use them to stabilize our own rituals. Now normally, this is a nice thing about the update, normally, if you don't have these seals in your inventory, you would have to go to your stash, pick them from your stash into your inventory and bring them here. And you cannot portal out of here. So you would have to exit this place, portal away to your stash, go to get the seals, come back in, go through a loading screen. Now, because you can just snatch stuff from your stash without having to go anywhere, I can just turn this in immediately, even though I haven't found the seals on this character. Yes, these appear to be in good shape. They will be most useful in returning Malkadar to this world. Next, we will require a source of arcane power. I have just the thing in mind. What's next? The Rite of Resurrection requires powerful incantations and an equally powerful energy source. Without something to draw upon, the ritual would drain the participants dry and leave them as nothing but withered husks. How can we prevent that? Ethereals are a manifestation of the Aether itself, a source of pure arcane energy. The more powerful the ethereal, the hotter its spirit will burn within the ritual. To the north, near Fort Haron, there is a mine called Stonerent Quarry that's become blasted with aether fire. A front for the ethereals in this region. Travel there and track down an ethereal by the name Noveria Stormfire. That is the boss that I was talking about. She wouldn't be there until this quest is accepted. She was once a great sorceress, now no more than a pawn of the ethereals. I will bestow a boon of the Order upon you to help counter her arcane powers and to contain her essence. Destroy Noviria in the Order's name. Now we get a timed buff, which I believe increases our Aether resistance. Or maybe reduces the damage that we take. I don't remember actually what this buff does. Either way, it is a timed buff, so if we want to make use of it in fighting Noviria, we have to haul ass. And we have to not die. If we die, the buff disappears, and we cannot get it again. So I'm actually gonna change direction now and head to the northeast. I shouldn't miss this, this shrine. This will finish the Raven. Ta-da! Now we have unlocked Rowan's Crown, but I am probably going to avoid it because the stuff it gives us isn't particularly relevant. It would be nice to start leveling this Storm. But I don't think it's worth it yet. I think where I should start heading is towards Korvac finally. Which means we need a little bit more green and then a whole bunch of blue. And the blue we can get from... Damn it, where was I getting the blue? Let me check my devotion map again. Oh yeah, Stag and Kraken. Kraken will do absolutely nothing for us until we're carrying a two-handed weapon. So that's kind of a waste of points. So probably Stag, which granted isn't much better. But it is at least pierce resistance, some health, some armor. Yeah, this will help us tank up against physical damage. Oh yeah, there are these captured farmers that we were sent to recover by Somer. Wait. I'm gonna kill this guy first before we talk. I don't know who you are, but I don't much care. You're not a cultist, at least you don't look like one. I mean, I look like a werewolf, so, you know, I'm not sure you can judge. Please get us out of here. Those bastards have been taking us out of the cage one at a time. We were forced to watch while they drained a man completely of his blood. It was horrible. I can get you all back to Homestead via Rift Gate. At this point, I'd settle for anything. Just get us home. Okay, that's that done. I'm not gonna go back to turn that one in. Oh, they still show up? Even after I've not completed the quest. Okay, now let's resolve that. I went to turn in the quest at Sorrow's Bastion and completely forgot I wanted to go back to Homestead as well. So, this guy. Stop wiggling, and go where I tell you. Any luck recovering those insignias? Yes, here they are. Thank you. It may seem like a small gesture to you, but you've helped honor the Legion's fallen, and we do not forget that. Please, take these iron bits as compensation. It is the least we can do in return. Thank you. So, another bunch of reputation. How far along are we? With Black Legion? Getting there.
I am told that Lysandra and a couple others have returned safely from captivity. All thanks to you. We thought they were as good as dead after they disappeared in the Blood Grove. I could not agree more. We've been cut off from Fort Icon long enough.
What's our next step?
When the Legion was forced to abandon the capital, we made Fort Icon our new base of operations. It's an old fortress to the far north, once used to protect the trade routes leading through the Asterkarn Mountains. However, when we began marching south, we encountered immediate opposition from both the cult and the Ethereals. Many of our men were killed, pincered between two opposing armies, and we were forced to retreat towards Homestead. The Ethereals now control the area known as the Conflagration. but the cult of Chthon has taken residence within the Dark Veil Gate, effectively cutting us off from our forces to the north. With the cult's front lines battered and their sacrifices freed, I believe it is now time to advance on their main position. Karaz, the Sigil of Chthon, the name has come up several times, including a recent bloody interrogation. We have no idea if he is the head of the entire cult or if he is merely a pawn in someone else's game, but one thing is for certain. He is at the Dark Veil Gate. I need you to infiltrate the fortress and take out their leader. Lay waste to the cult's followers. Let nothing stop you in reclaiming our bastion.
Will be done. Actually, one thing I forgot to do last time, I've been tinkering a bit with audio. I reduced the volume of my mic and slightly of the game, but I didn't bring back up the dialogue volume, so you guys might not be hearing it quite as well. I had some issues with the mic picking up some of the dialogue, so you could be hearing it double. So I tinkered with it a little bit, but I may have made the audio a little too quiet now for you to hear anything. If it was okay, then sure, let me know, I can set it back, but it shouldn't hurt to increase the volume a little bit. Now, we wasted a bunch of time talking, but the buff is still on, so we can go kick Noviria's ass, or hopefully not get our ass kicked by her. There's also going to be another devotion shrine up there, which we need to liberate. The more points, the better. I could also consider taking Blizzard. I think, what is it? Ishtak? Devotion. Again, the damage is not aligned with our current damage typing. We are dealing chaos and it's going to be all about cold. But it does provide us a free source. I'm actually gonna check what else does it do for us. Cold damage doesn't matter. 6% health definitely does matter. Armor. This is not helpful currently. And offensive ability. I mean, 6% health. Probably not the best way to spend our points. But starting to level the crowd control would be nice. Okay, Myla Finnegan. Hello there, stranger. You don't have the look of a cultist about you. What brings such a well-armed adventurer way out here into the middle of nowhere? I'm here to stop the cult of Chthon. Let's be honest, yeah. What a noble and foolhardy pursuit. After the grim dawn stranded me out here, I claimed this cave as my home, but nature it seems has decreed that I died out here instead. An avalanche collapsed this entrance not a day ago. All of my food and belongings are inside. Do you need any help? You truly are a godsend, stranger. We will need some dynamite in order to clear the way. Don't suppose you have any? If not, perhaps one of the mines may have some, or perhaps the nearby quarry? If you bring me some, we can clear the rocks and I can retrieve my belongings. Perhaps there is something among them that you would find acceptable as compensation for your aid. Is this enough dynamite? Why, yes, that will do. Aren't you the resourceful type? Here you go. Splendid. Stand back now, don't want to get caught in the blast. Even in these trying times, you have found it in your heart to help a complete stranger. It is commendable. Please follow me inside so that I can properly reward you. Yeah, about that. Not everything is as it appears. I must apologize for the ruse, but alas, I cannot travel very far from my tomb. You may die knowing that I will savor you as I drain the life from your breath. You tricked me. Deception was a necessity. Would you have sacrificed yourself willingly, knowing my true intentions? I merely do what I must do to survive. Now hush and die peacefully. This will all be over soon. I'm not just going to lie down and die. I have haunted this forest for centuries, sapping unsuspecting fools such as yourself of their precious vitality. My cave has been sealed off time and again, but somehow it is always uncovered again, thanks to naive dupes like yourself and the greedy prospectors who visited me last. What hope do you have against me? Only one way to find out. Better not stand in that, if I can avoid it. They last a long time. But I can lure her out. So that's fine. Plus my cold resistance is fine. That's all done. And a level up. Okay, one more level and we can swap our weapons finally. So how many points do we need here? One? Oh, just one. Okay, so that's done. Where do we go next? So either I could start investing here and actually make this the intended like Sigil of Consumption Chaos Werewolf build that our weapons are going to be supporting. Or I think that's actually the best idea. I could start climbing up here, get the 10% damage modifier that I'm gonna get for Werewolf up here. Duration of Untamed Rage, which is this one. If I drop low, I will get some offensive ability and damage reduction, which also isn't bad, but it's a lot of points. So granted, I do need this bar filled to get more health. Improving my survivability. Going for damage here might be too greedy. I can't even convert all of the damage, right? This is just fire to chaos, but not the vitality damage on it. That wouldn't even be fully efficient. It would be sustain, it is lifesteal. How many points do we get into it if I invest immediately? Only 3. What do you guys think? Any thoughts? It would be fun. But it would require 24 points, which means the next 12 levels would be dedicated to just this build. No increase in survivability. I think I would fall behind. I think I should keep climbing. And isn't there a chest here? Or did I open it before I started yapping about itemization? I thought there was a chest here. I guess not. Oh shit, our buff is almost gone. I need to haul ass. I mean, it's not crucial that buff will basically not make a difference, but since it was granted for this quest, I might as well use it for the quest, right? The AoE of the shout is now nice and juicy. It's a big area around me. Oh, actually not as big as I thought. Really have to be... Okay, it doesn't hit that guy up there. So it's like the size of a Horn of Gendar, I guess. It's not like Warcry. Warcry hits a lot more than this. Yeah, 10.8 meters. It's probably... yeah, it's small horn, I think. So yeah, you have to be very much up close. That might actually be a problem for that skill. Because if you're playing a ranged character, you will have a hard time benefiting from it. Unless you're face tanking. There's the quarry. Dangerous domain. That means enemy cooldown reduction and casting speed. In this case, Noveria is a caster, but I don't think it will make a difference how quickly she casts and what cooldowns she has. As long as our resistance to her damage is good, and it should be. No, for not having the AoE of the sigil, that wasn't too bad. They're packed together and died fairly quickly en masse. Don't remember if there's any lore notes in here. I know there's a bunch of dynamite lying around, but I don't think there's any info. Just to be safe, I'm gonna open a portal here. Because we have not just Noveria, but also another boss here. And he is... can be dangerous. So I guess our resistances are now good enough that he shouldn't be too bad. She's taking a while. Oh yeah, no point attacking her while she has the shield on. Just out of curiosity, is she that tanky or is that resistance? How much health does she have? 2,000. Oh, sorry, 2 million. That is not that bad, so I guess she might be resistant. Sorry, needs to apply that. That's the essence that we wanted. And there's the big boss of this area. She's here only when the player allies with Order of Death's Vigil, but this guy is always here. And he thunders. Oh yeah, this thing. Nice. Okay, so we're surviving fine. The damage is starting to lag behind. I'm already honored. Wow, that was quick. We've only just met and they already honor me. It's trusting, aren't you? What if I'm a spy? Okay, and there's our... Oh, we have to fight for this one. A whole bunch of flesh pellets. Ooh. Tickles. But not enough. Oathbearer, that's a pistol. Bone Shatter Treads. Physical and Vitality Boots. Not great, not terrible. At least not for us. So, I think the next thing I'm gonna do is the stag. Which also helps because this first point that I need to invest to get to it gives us 5% health. And I'm gonna refund it after I'm done with this. And we managed it within the duration of the buff. I'm not gonna go turn in the quests yet, I think. Because what is our inventory looking like? Oh, Invest the point. Yeah, I'm gonna fill it up and then I'm gonna go back. Did I miss the waypoints? Let me see. Yeah, I didn't take the waypoint yet, so I'm not gonna go up here. Because that moves me away from where the rift gate is. And then I'm gonna come back. I opened the gate there so I can immediately zip back to it. Once I get the rift gate here. Okay, that's done. Oh, another... No, it's an Imperial Belt. I thought he maybe dropped one of the scepters that I'm looking for. Now would be a good time to do it because I might still drop it at level 70 and use it. Otherwise, if I reach level 70, I think it will start dropping at a higher level and it might be a long time before I can use any of it. Oh, those are allies. I already have that one. Come on, give me the first one. Okay, Tsunami rank 17. I believe there's a little hidey hole in here, hidden like side path to a chest that I only found like in the last few years of playing. I've been through this area 100 times and I only found it on like the 90th run. Yeah, this one. It's not like anything major, of course, but it's always nice to find something new in a game that you know like the back of your hand. Or at least I used to know it like the back of my hand. And I didn't play it for 3 years waiting for the expansion. So I have forgotten a lot. But it's gonna come back to me. Oh, we're full. Okay, I'm gonna go turn in the quest for the Necromancers. Have you dealt with Noviria? Gather her essence. Excellent work. I was worried that she may have been too much for you, but you have proven to be quite resourceful. There is but one final piece we still require to bring back Malkadar, but that is not for me to discuss. Speak with the Keeper when you are able. She will have the details. What did we get? Ectoplasm and reputation. The Keeper. The Keeper of Tomes, guardian of the Order's knowledge. She has become the Order's de facto leader after Uraboruk's disappearance. Uraboruk is gone? Yes, sadly our master has left us several years ago. To what end, we do not know. He left us no information as to his departure, nor has he tried to contact anyone within the Order. Has anyone gone to fight after him? Yes, quite a few. Some never returned, dead or still searching. For the Grim Dawn, our accomplished acolytes would set out into the world for a year in order to search for our master. It was a rite of passage of sorts. I see. We also gained the honored reputation with these guys, so I should check what that means for us. First I'm gonna sell stuff, so again, chaos, damage. Send the materials back. Okay, so we do have the scepter and I completely missed it. And it's a good one too. Void touched, prefix of the void suffix. So this is all chaos all day long. That's amazing. Alright. It's gonna be better than one of those that I have stashed up. If not both. What is this? Shard of Command. Chaos damage, Ember Claw, Lightning Strike. Oh, that's for a Chaos Summoner? A Chaos character and a Summoner of any type. Which we are not, at least not yet. This is what? Oh, I didn't realize. I already have this. Okay, I'm gonna read that later. So this, when I said in the Blood Grove, we are passing by one of the trees, that it's gonna be important later because we will have to come back there after we have acquired a specific item. It also gave us a lore note that I did not expect. Actually, I'm gonna read it now. Dravis's letter to Dela, first entry. Dearest sister, I am confident that this letter will find its way to you. You cannot resist returning to this place. I know that the memories of that night still conjure nightmares in your sleep. The face you saw, that is the price one pays for learning the truth which you deny. Do you remember how we used to play around the old ruins as children? Father always told us not to, that we would be swept away by the harpies that fill the sky in the twilight hours. But what if he was not just trying to protect us? Perhaps there were ulterior motives to keeping us away from the old places of the world. What if, should we venture inside, we would learn more about his past than he wished for us to know? I have done what you could not, Dela. I have defied our father and entered the depths of anguish. It is there that my eyes were truly opened. If you are wise, you will do as I have. Yeah, so now the next step of that quest would be taking us to Anguish, which is one of the floors of the Steps of Torment. But Steps of Torment is something we're going to be doing later anyway, so I'm not gonna go there just for this. Besides, it's way too early to be completing this quest line. That one is secret, only available on ultimate difficulty. It's not even like a quest line in the sense that it would show up in the quest log. It's fully hidden. And it's like end game stuff. Basically a secret boss. And he's not for the like unprepared character, really. Bloodsworn robes also seem like would be something that we could use if only we had enough spirit for those. And we most definitely do not and will not have it for a long time. Although I will be climbing up the Berserker tree, so maybe I will unlock those. And I have to say, these aren't terrible. The resistances suck. But the amount of health these give us is respectable. Maybe if we find some with better resistances, I could consider those, but these aren't it. Sell. Okay, so what of these weapons? Is the other one also as good? Void Touched of the... They're both the same. Oh, that's funny. Void Touched of the Void, both of them. And they will probably be better than the ones I have already stashed. Neat. I'm not complaining. Oh, and I wanted to check what he sells that we can use. Rings and amulets. I mean, it's resistances if we ever need them. For the future, I can stash it up. This is for pets. Yeah, but other than that... Vitality damage, not for us. Yeah, they will not have... Oh, they do have chaos stuff. Yeah, but that would cost us all of our crowd control resistance. We cannot afford that. Okay. Maybe something in the next tier. Oh yeah, and I wanted to speak to the Keeper. Keeper of Tomes, Master Uruk speaks highly of your contributions. The Order values the Legion's assistance and yours. But by now I am sure that you are eager to see the culmination of your efforts. However, one last thing remains before we can return Malkadar to us. I have some questions first. If I know the answer, you shall have it. What can you tell me about the Order's history? The Order was founded 313 years ago by our immortal master Uraboruk, in order to preserve knowledge and pursue the study of necromancy. Before the Order, necromancy was nearly lost to the world, an art persecuted to near extinction. You may have heard of the Curse of Arkovia. That was our master's retribution for the systematic elimination of necromancers. Following the Arkovian tragedy, Uraboruk wandered the world in seclusion for many centuries. He resurfaced a little over 3 centuries ago, swearing to restore the art of necromancy and to ingrain the pursuit of knowledge and life's mysteries into a new generation. Today, the Order is comprised primarily of arcanists and occultists, disillusioned and persecuted by Urlan society. Though we do welcome those who do not have the arcane gift, Uraboruk's teachings encourage tolerance and understanding after all. Who was Uraboruk? Tales of Uraboruk have existed for centuries. None know for sure in what distant time and place he was born, or if Uraboruk is even his original name. What we do know is that Uraboruk was central to the tales of Arkovia's downfall many centuries ago. And the decree of the Arkovian oligarchs, all suspected practitioners of the necromantic art were to be taken into the steppes of torment, a vile prison where doomed men were left to rot in the darkness of the depths of the earth. Uraboruk, who then had a powerful following in Arkovia, was betrayed and handed over to the Arkovian torturers. However, he was not like any man they had ever met. It seemed Uraboruk could not die. His skin would not burn, and his wounds would not bleed. Unsurprisingly, this drew the attention of the oligarchs, who craved such power for themselves. Under their command, Uraboruk was subjected to the most brutal and imaginative forms of torture ever conceived. His immortality had worked against him. Ultimately, our master agreed to their demands and offered to perform the ritual which would make the oligarchs immortal. The oligarchs had assumed his will broken and greedily accepted. Indeed, Uraboruk granted the people of Arkovia the immortality they so craved, but it came in the form of a devious curse. They still suffered from the ravages of time, but the merciful release of death would not come. They became trapped within their physical forms, even as their bodies disintegrated and turned into dust. The remnants of the once great Arkovian Empire still roam the world as mindless ghouls and tortured spirits. Centuries later, Uraboruk would create the Order of Death's Vigil so that our knowledge would never again be threatened by the ignorant. He taught several generations of our people before mysteriously leaving us in the middle of the night, a few years before the Grim Dawn struck. Your master left you? Yes, we do not know why or where. Perhaps he had ascended, his time on Cairn concluded. I believe that he is still out there, though, traveling the world in search of enlightenment. Has anyone gone after him? That is a lot of talking, I'm sorry guys, but after we get through this, there shouldn't be too much coming up. Yes, of course, many had left to search for our master, but none have returned with even a hint of his presence. It has become tradition for young acolytes to set out into the world in search of Uraboruk for a year. They return wizened by their travels, but no closer to uncovering the truth of our master's disappearance. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. I think there's not much important anyway. What did you need me to do? Underneath Fort Icon to the north there is a crypt dedicated to an ancient faith. Therein lies the tomb of Archon Bartholem, once powerful priest. The Archon was cremated upon death, his ashes stored within a sacred urn. In order to bring back Malkadar, we must gather these ashes. They will serve as the core of his revenant body. Unfortunately, Kaiman's Chosen have already moved in to the crypt, declaring its contents sacred to their misguided faith. We will have to take the ashes from them by force. The Order is already advancing on the crypt as we speak. I need you to spearhead the attack, wipe them out, and claim the ashes for the Order. Okay? Ugh, I need a sip of water after that. I also didn't check, are there any lore notes here? Yes, there are. Shit, more reading. I mean, I'm doing this to myself. Nobody's forcing me to make a lore playthrough, but myself. I do force myself. So, let's read that. Hopefully it's not long. Laruka's journal. It is decently long. Need to move my mic, sorry for the noise. Today marks a critical moment in my life as one of Uroboruk's pupils. Having passed the trials, the only thing that stands between me and the coveted title of Necromancer is performing a reanimation. I've had the pleasure of seeing our master at work countless times. He is truly a master of the craft, requiring neither reagent nor words to bring the dead back into the living. Interesting phrasing. Uroboruk claims that this is a matter of practice and form, but I am convinced otherwise. His grasp over death supersedes us all, even his oldest students who, at a whim, may call upon spirits to do their bidding. But even they require binding runes and focusing stones, of which our master makes no use of. It seems redundant. The dead Uroboruk brings back don't just serve him, they seem eager to please their master as if to earn his favor. But now it is my turn to join the elite ranks of the Order. I've studied the scrolls, learned the rites, and burned the words into my memory through exhaustive repetition. I've gathered the grave moss and the dust from buried bones. I'm ready. Tomorrow I will drag a soul back from beyond the veil of death and force it into skeletal remains. Tomorrow I emerge from the sepulchre as a full-fledged necromancer. You do you? Okay, I've been reading and talking for so long I've kind of forgotten where we are. We are... oh yeah, headed to Fort Haron. Actually in Fort Haron. Where we're going to be kicking some Cayman ass. Cayman ass. Yum yum. What is my reputation with Cayman looking like actually? Only despised. Yeah, that might be another faction that I will have to farm reputation with. Look at Nemesis. I want to see the new Nemesis that they've added. I think this faction will have a new one as well. Not just the larger factions like Undead or Beasts. Actually, if I wanted to farm reputation, I could have taken a bounty in the base of the Order of Death Vigil while I was there. So I can spawn an extra hero here. I could do it now, but it's so much running to get into the base for them. And I've wasted enough time already reading and talking. Well, waste is a relative term. No time spent having fun is a waste. In my humble opinion. There is something seems to be glitching here. Actually, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go to menu, turn off HDR lighting and see if it changes. Where is that? HDR lighting. Apply. Yeah, now it doesn't do that. No, it does. Never mind. Yeah, something is off. That's dynamite. And there's... I should actually open a portal just in case. There's Sister Bravna. Just a moment. I'll be right with you. Actually, they don't have healers. I don't need to worry. One tanky bastard, aren't you? There you go. Skybreaker circlets. It's for Lightning Rune of Castor. I want to build it someday soon. But then again, I want to build someday soon like 260 different builds, so... Priorities. Clement's Badge, that's for Grenado and Kalidor's Tempest. Just a little bit and I can finally upgrade my weapons. Looking forward to that. That will be a decent jump in our damage output from 38,000 to like nearly 50, I believe, if I... maybe not 50 quite. Which granted still isn't great damage, but might be enough to carry us to the endgame items. Hopefully we can start finding them like towards the level 90. Because I would really love to start switching to the final build here. Which, by the way, guys in chat, if you type in !build, you will get a link to the final build that I intend to play, or it's in the video description. Though the one in my chat will usually be the more up-to-date. Currently they're the same, but I keep tinkering with it. So it won't stay up-to-date for long, probably. We left a lot unexplored down there. Okay, this is empty. Still haven't cleared Glaria's Mural. That's in this direction. There's not really much quest reason to go down here, but I still haven't fought Bolvar, and I'm kind of curious how much he hurts now. So my resistances should be good enough to deal with him. It's interesting. This still feels like I'm kind of stable. My damage is keeping up, even though it's not great, especially against heroes and bosses. My survivability is starting to be like kind of okay, but the moment I go into something just a little bit harder, like Steps of Torment, I just completely fold. I just fall over at the slightest hint of additional damage. Zartuzilan is still the only boss in the game that I haven't killed on this character. In terms of like bosses that we've met so far. Only one that I've had to bail on. Okay, where's the Bolvar? I still missed something down here. Plus killing the Kaimon's Chosen in here is a decent way to get some of the reputation up. Maybe these guys will drop me... Yes, they will drop me another Scepter. Another Void Touch of the Void. That's the third one I have in my inventory currently. Let's reorganize. This goes away. This goes next to it. How good is it? They're all kinda the same. I mean, they are the same, just the rolls on the numbers are slightly different. I can almost equip them. Just a little bit more. There's the Bolvar. Oh, he has new skills. Holy shit. Used to be a caster. Now he's a gunner? I mean, did they hear my complaints? Like years ago now. I made a thread on the forums that the game is surprisingly lacking ranged enemies, like ranged bosses. That's, you know, guns are one of the big differentiating points in this game from other ARPGs. But all of the bosses are either casters or like some monstrosity that attacks in melee. And the only boss that's like a gunner specific boss was Ratnik, the serial gunner for Cronley's gang, which you find in Arkovian docks, and they seem to have redesigned Bolvar, because he never had chaos weapon pull skills or dual pistols. He was casting doom bolts and stuff like that. That is so nice. I love it. Yeah, his Bloodsworn pistols. Interesting that those pistols still have nothing to do with gun combat, but he has completely respect. I'm not even sure you can play like a Chaos Gunner with the skills that he is using, because that looked like a Chaos version of Storm Spread on the Inquisitor tree. I would have to check. I have a spreadsheet of all the like various conversions that are available for various skills and what items they are available on. But Chaos Storm Spread does not ring a bell. I don't think that's in there. Maybe it's coming in the content that they're going to be adding after the expansion. Oh, I completely forgot about this rift. I haven't been here yet. I need to go in because of the Mogdrogen's Shrine quest. I'm gonna open a portal because you cannot open portals inside. So if I die, I wouldn't be able to like easily recover from within. Ooh, that kind of hurt. That triggered my ghoul. It's been a while. Ragnadar! Oh boy, I look forward to making a build around your gun. I've wanted to make a two-handed ranged chaos or fire gunner, a demolitionist for a long time. And now they redesigned this gun that drops from this dude. To make it like a Chaos Fire Strike and a Sigil of Consumption weapon, and it gives you Onslaught stacks on Fire Strike, which I believe is the only way you can get Onslaught stacks on Fire Strike, which will massively empower the Sigil. After you build up some of the stacks, you can spend them and make a super strong Sigil out of it. Yeah, 3 Onslaught stacks on Fire Strike. Chance to reduce cooldown of Sigil of Consumption. That is so cool. I have a build already planned for that. And for another like 200 different items. It's insane how many ideas I have. I need to really get the move on with this build. But I can start exploring other stuff as well. Okay, so somewhere in here we need to find a piece of the Shrine of Mogdrogen. Thankfully it's gonna be highlighted, so there's no chance we're gonna miss it. And this is a very open field map, so it's not a labyrinth where we have to navigate through complicated terrain. What do you mean? Shapira? Am I mispronouncing it? Sahibkra, sorry. Oh, that's a Laboraire. Did my stream just drop? Is this system stream health? No, looks okay. What the hell? Seems to suddenly lose connection. At least my chat application showed suddenly that you disappeared immediately after typing. Maybe it was the chat application that's bugged out. Hopefully not the stream itself. I haven't watched through my streams in full, but did do some checking for audio levels and I didn't see any like frame dropping or skipping or anything like that, so hopefully it's holding up. Yeah, these bastards are taking a while to kill. Because they're chaos resistant. And I'm technically missing one chaos resistance reduction source. Because I didn't take Eldritch Fire. Is it Eldritch Fire? No, it's... yeah, it is Eldritch Fire. The devotion that gives you... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. I'm hoping it becomes a thing. Maybe it is already a thing and I forgot about the item. They added so much that it's really hard to keep track of. And there's the piece that we were looking for. Now, another tricky thing about this place is that, you know, this is a very chaotic, like, you don't even know where you are. Some sort of otherworldly... Is this a different dimension? What is this place? Is this hell? Does Cairn even have hell? One tricky thing here is that you don't actually know where your exit is. Because it's not fixed. It keeps moving around every time you spawn in. So... And it's not highlighted either. So you can just be running around here for a while having no idea how to get out. Which is very fitting. This is a place of chaos. Level up. Okay, I need to remember when I get out of here to swap my weapons now. So, there's our cunning. And what did we want? What did we want? To keep climbing, right? Just keep climbing. Make like Dory. This is not important. Yeah, I probably just keep climbing. Get tank here. Care. How do we get out of here? Let me out! Scratchy, scratchy. I think these Chaos Bastards takes a while. I mean, the Harbingers are already very tanky, so... It's not just the fact that we're doing chaos damage that's slowing us down. They take a while to kill in general. Where the fuck is the exit? These leeches now, those aren't a problem for us, but if you're playing a Vitality build, I believe they are natively immune to Vitality damage, so if you don't have Vitality resistance reduction, you can't hurt them at all. That may have been changed, but I doubt it. They have been tinkering some Vitality resistances on enemies, so that Vitality doesn't have to stack so much resistance reduction, but... I mean, it makes sense for these Leech guys who are primarily Vitality damage focused that they might still retain their immunity. Don't tell me I passed the exit somewhere. I didn't even check what they have. Is it poison damage that they're dealing? Yeah, poison damage. That's fine. Okay, nothing here. Oh, there is the exit. Okay, that's everything. So we found it at just the right moment, where we have nothing left to explore. I mean, yeah, I guess there's a few spots that I missed, but like that. And now, some upgrades. I remembered. But for that, we do need to go back to Devil's Crossing. Because we need to craft some components for our weaponry. So that will be 2 Rift Stones.
I do the best I can with what I've got.
I'll first send stuff away so they don't get in the way.
Bring me back
What we were trying to do. Okay, so let's compare. Also with the belt became available. And the medal. Here we have a lot of stuff to exchange. So this is 2,900, 3,000. So this is the best one so far. I need to make some space. Where do I do this? Okay, so this is the best one. What about the rest? I think the ones that I have saved before will be worse. This is 3-4. Is this actually better? Even though it's Frostborn, how is that possible? That doesn't seem right. Okay, so this one is definitely out. This one is bad. 2-9, this is better than this one. And out of these two... Why is this difference here? This one is better on the main hand, but worse on the offhand than this one. Why? That makes no sense to me. The math simply isn't mathing. But either way, we should have a void touched of the void, right? That's double chaos affixes. Oh, but this one rolled higher percentage chaos on of the void, I guess. That's why. But then why is it worse on the other hand? Okay, well, whatever. I'm not gonna try to understand this. Either way, this one is the best. No, it's not. It's the best on the main hand, but not on the offhand. What the ever-loving fuck is this? So you are going to the main hand. And you are going to the offhand because that's just the best number we have. What does that mean for my resistances? What did I lose? This one had elemental res, but our elemental res went up. And this one didn't have resistances at all. But our freeze res went up. Nice. Okay, so our damage from before went up by about 8-ish. Okay. Ah, 7. 7k. Okay, so that's that part. Now the belt. The extra health is actually less than what we have. There's no percent chaos damage. It has better resistances against vitality, which we do not need. It's worse against bleeding. I guess we don't even want it. Yeah, we do not want this. And the medal doesn't have reasonable or useful percent damage on it. It has less health, but better resistances. Poison, chaos, bleeding. We do need poison. Chaos helps, bleeding is okay. We lose pierce resistance, which we can afford. And we lose stun duration, which we are okay on. We will gain some acid resistance because this gives us aspect of the Guardian. We will also gain physical resistance because of it. So yeah, I guess I make this swap And we put the Aether Souls in again. Yeah, we do.
I'll keep an eye
Okay.
on this.
That's the inventory management done.
Let's take a look, shall we?
Do I even... Yes, I guess I do. Okay,
Be safe out there.
just so it doesn't confuse me, I'm gonna sell the scepters. So I don't think I found new ones, I need to compare them. Yeah, all of them are worse than what I equipped. Okay. I also wanted to hide this away. Oh, I didn't apply augments. Not that I have any good ones, but... Yeah, that's some stun and pierce. So that fixes my stun back up. Nice. Back to the portal. Must say I'm getting kind of tired, so I guess what will we do? I will clear my way to Darkvale Gate and stop there. We have done Fort Haron, so that's Driver's Mill, Darkvale, and Gate. Yeah, okay. Sounds like a plan. Okay, that's that. So I don't believe there is anything hidden there. There is a hidden area to access, but actually we can just go to the gate from here. And the access to that place is from below here. In here, there is a... well, there's going to be some pickups. The more important part is the shopkeep up here. Benevolt. Strange wares. And he means that, literally. He even sells these. That's nice. He sells monster infrequents, which is not a common thing. Memory of Grilla the Frostfire. What is this? Teardrops of Grilla the Frostfire, who wove flame and ice together into devastating displays of spellcraft. Huh. I'm guessing this is another item that has some relevance for a quest in the expansion. Might as well buy it since I'm here. Never seen that. Okay, so he sells Death's Watcher pendants, which drop only from Order of Death's Vigil if you're hostile with them. Kaiman badges, which are dropping from Kaiman's guys. We've already found some of those. Occult Effigy, that we already have that recipe. Skeleton Key we already have. There's the Troll Gun, like Aether Touch Troll Gun. Troll Weaponry. This is from the caves, this is Ghost equipment, and this is another Void Touch Scepter of the Void. Because why not? But it's not even worth upgrading for the 22 points, but it is good to know that we can come back here and, as they call it, vendor farm this. You can leave, come back, and he will have refreshed his inventory. So we could actually just keep coming back here to buy upgrades as we level up when the level 70 weapons stop being good enough. There is another vendor, actually there's multiple vendors that sell monster infrequent items, but they are not common. There's only a small handful of such shopkeeps. And a good bunch of them are hidden in challenger dungeons, or roguelike dungeons as they call them, such as Steps of Torment, where you can buy a whole bunch of undead related monster infrequents, like those ghost blades that he was selling here. Okay, that's Village of Darkvale. We don't want to go there yet. There's Griver's Mill. Yeah, you're suddenly kind of hurting. Did I lose Chaos Res? No, actually my Chaos Res got better. Somehow. It's capped and it wasn't. Interesting that they hurt so much. Forsaken, okay. This might be trouble, so I'm gonna open a portal. That's fine. Somebody is slowing me. Big time. I'm hearing some double rares. Easy peasy. Consecrated Exalted Head of the Cabal. It's a Chaos Hat, but a High Spirit one. Man, that's a lot of good affixes actually. 487 spirits. We're not too far. We could actually do this. I just need some extra points in the Berserker Mastery probably. How much do I gain per? 2 spirit per. So that will be +4 and I am... that's what, 4 levels away actually. That's not great. I don't think I gain any extra spirit from devotions. Right, do I? At least not ones that I'm currently heading towards. That's physique. I think there was some spirit in here somewhere. No, I guess not. There is spirit here. That would get me there. So I would need 1 more devotion point and I would need to get rid of this. Yeah, I guess. Death Dealer Sidearm. Servitus Corruptor, I believe that's a Chaos... what is it? Chaos... Righteous Fervor? Chaos Cadence... No, Chaos Cadence. Never mind. Well, at least I was right on the damage type, just not the skill. Oh, these Manticore Waste Guards. Yeah, those are new. They didn't used to exist. +1 to Berserker. That is a good bit of health. No chaos damage on it. No Aether or Bleeding Res, which is... Well, Bleeding Res is there, but not enough, right? Actually, no, we could. +1 to Berserker, is that valuable enough? I would lose the Aether Res, which I'm not great on, so no. Go to sleep. I should actually take my own advice, because I'm really starting to get tired, but it's not a good place to stop. I should get to the next checkpoint. Materials. Long time no see. There's another hidden area here. And a more important hidden area a little bit further. I'm gonna clear the mill first. It's a quest that we've had for a while. Actually, no. I was mistaken. I thought this was the mill, but it's a little bit further on. So I'm gonna do the hidden area first. Oh, platform investments. Again, do we have enough spirit? We do not. But they are worth considering later. If I make the deviation and go to Elemental Storm, I might have enough spirit even for the robes. Because they need how much again? 492. Yeah, that would get me enough. Yeah, so when you look at the map, we are completely off the grid. Again, hidden areas. Gotta love them. And it even has some lore significance. This one. Oh, we find a totally normal bulwark here. Another one of those funny, you can use the shield as a weapon items. Will always drop at level 94 on ultimate difficulty. Falcon's Claw. Okay, let's take a look-see. Scribe Osteram's notes. Hang on, need to shift my mic. I cannot find a single reference to this stonework in any of my books. The inscriptions don't match anything in our records. In any records. This language probably hasn't been spoken aloud in over 1,000 years. What long-forgotten god was once worshipped here? And why do we know nothing about it? The hideous carvings depict a gruesome scene. Was it a wicked god? It can't be Empyrean. The three were never depicted in such a way, and besides, the witch gods were not known to embrace such open displays of devotion. They preferred the secret places, hidden from sight, and the light of day, where their followers could practice without the fear of the luminary discovering their covens. I was under the impression that the Imperium had stamped out all the heretics in their last bloody crusade across Erulan over a century ago. The Inquisitors were quite thorough given the catastrophic death tolls recorded. Surely nobody had survived to invoke whatever power was trapped within these stones. And yet the monolith is warm to the touch and the torches are lit as if someone visited regularly. The carving hums with strange power that sends a chill down my back. Perhaps it is best that this place be left alone, lest I stir whatever lies dormant within the ancient depths. Nesmith Osteram, first scribe of the Silver Tower. Yeah, so this will be very relevant, but not until the Forgotten Gods expansion. It would be much easier to understand what's going on if you joined Kaiman's Chosen instead of Order of Death's Vigil. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's go kill some heretics. I say as I'm playing a chaos-infused werewolf, so who's the heretic here? I'm an abomination and a heretic, I guess, since I'm playing an occultist. Okay, here we go. A whole bunch of nasties. Now technically, we needed to kill 18 Chthonics in here. So we could technically just go back and report, hey, it's clear. You can move in and just leave a whole bunch of these guys in here. It wouldn't make a difference, but it is kind of a funny thought. Again, this is a area of the map. Even though it really doesn't feel like it, this is kind of easy to find. If any of you wanted to drop another scepter, I wouldn't mind. Maybe you can get even better ones. At level 70, it's not too far off that we can start finding like endgame items. Kind of like those level 82 legendaries that don't have a higher level version anymore. Zoom it back out. And we are off to Darkvale. I should turn in the quest before I forget in Homestead. Wouldn't mind clearing out some of these quests. The quest log is getting kind of long. Well, partially that's my fault because I started the Hidden Path quest, which will linger here for a long time. And it takes up quite a bit of space. Oh yeah, we need to go through here. This is another hidden area. All the secrets. I hear there's a whole bunch of secrets in the expansion, and I'm hoping I'm gonna be very successful in finding them. I have avoided all spoilers. So I might miss a ton, but I hope to be very thorough in my exploration. Kinda know how they design their maps, so maybe I'll find them naturally. And also I'm just gonna rub myself against every corner, just to make sure I don't miss anything. I mean, I'm a dog, rubbing myself against stuff is what I do. I guess. Wolf, not dog. Again, did my stream crash or no? Stream health seems okay. This is weird. Oh, decorations. Oh, you're so small. Tiny. Like bunnies. I never noticed they were spawning such little guys. Did they shrink in the wash, maybe? What did I pick up? Trevor's notes. For weeks I have been getting the feeling that something bad is coming. Like a knot in the pit of my stomach that won't go away, and each day it gets a bit worse. I've also noticed that a lot more travelers from... No, I've also noticed a lot more travelers from the capital of Erulan, heading south with all their worldly possessions. I asked a few for news from the north, but nobody could give me a clear answer. Just an unshakable feeling that something awful was about to happen. How is it that we all share the same dread? No shipment from the capital again. Last week we didn't get our latest deliveries, and now again? No shipment coming in means no shipment going out. How am I supposed to run a store if I don't have supplies to sell? Local goods are fine, but I rely on being able to sell things people can't get straight from their neighbors. I'm hearing hushed conversations in the street, and a customer told me she saw some cloaked figures rolling a barrel down to the lake. And now the town drunk is missing. More likely than not, he finally tripped and tumbled over the ravine. But still, there is a strange chill in the air, and everyone seems to be on edge. I'm starting to think that packing up a shop and heading south may be the best thing to do. Trevor Mills. Yes, indeed. Fucking Bloodsworn. That was loud. Oh, another Bloodsworn Scepter. Are you better? Are you worse? Are you hiding? This is not the one. Where are you? There you are. You're worse. Ah yeah, there's the end of the bridge to Fort Haron, which is broken. Get me around. Now here at the end of this town, there is another notoriously rippy boss. At least she used to be. Not sure she still is, or maybe she is, but we might not get torn apart by her. Thanks to our resistances. Because we have an amulet that's increasing our max resistance by 4. We are actually a lot more resilient than we normally would be. There's a massive difference between taking 20% damage and taking 16% damage from a different, from a certain damage type. That's probably the thing that's saving our ass, because 7,000 health is not a ton. Delicious Blood Boil. Another Scepter. Another Void Touched of the Void. I mean, that is the most common thing that it's gonna drop as, because it's a Chaos Leaning item. So it will drop with ideally Chaos Leaning affixes. And Void Touched of the Void are the lowest level, like easiest to get Chaos related affixes for damage. It is a slight upgrade, but I think the biggest difference we could get is if it is like Void Touched, and that is then has attack speed on it, because our attack speed is really bad actually, only 134%. Given that the cap is 200%, we are very far from having good attack speed. Add to that our slow resistance is really bad. Oh, now we have a new one. Void Touched of Corrupted Peaks. That's a new affix that we didn't have until this expansion. What do? You do a whole lot of damage. Bunch of chaos flat, a lot of percent chaos, and attack speed and casting speed. Exactly the thing I wanted. And Form of the Beast, which is a skill we will be heading towards, or rather, we are heading towards it. This is that one. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to make a swap for the damage. That is perfect. So I need to swap it for the bigger difference for the main hand. So keep the add-on. Apply the augment. This is worse in offhand. This is worse. This is not worse in offhand, because it has attack speed. Okay, so we're upgrading both of them, I guess. Keep the add-on. And apply augments. So yeah, this is now worse. And so is this. Wonderful. My inventory is looking kind of full, so I should probably sell stuff while I'm here. I'm once again gonna filter for chaos damage. And start clicking. Oh, there's the hat that I wanted to save, potentially. If I get enough spirit. This one... the resistances are terrible, so no. Oh, that's new amulet. That was added with the expansion. Haven't seen this one yet. Okay, sell. Oh, I'm gonna ship everything over. There's our Ragnar rifle. Which rolled with Aether damage and Vitality damage on a Chaos rifle. Yikes. Not great. This one is also bad in terms of resistances. My inventory is starting to kind of fill up with stuff that I'm just gonna be carrying around for a while. What are you looking like? You know, unless they have Aetheress, probably don't care. That is one that I'm having trouble finding elsewhere. Nope. Is that everything? That is everything. Okay, I'm gonna hide the hat. So again, how much do I need? I need 87. That's still a while. Oh yeah, I didn't read that one. Mayor Bridgewater's journal. I'm not one to wish ill on anyone for their beliefs, but I can say I like this new face spreading around town of late. With all the frightening rumors coming from the north, religious fanatics stirring up the populace is the last thing we need. Heath Strigbrow, Jesus, that's a name, says the religion of Chthon is not new, but in fact very old. Well, if it's been around for so long, how come I have never heard of it? One of their preachers invited me to sit in and listen on their sermons to dispel any ill feelings I have towards the matter. They seemed innocuous enough, but the obsession with blood and rejoining with their god in the end of days left me uneasy. Another person has gone missing. Last week it was Tom, who I admit was a drunk and a nuisance to the town, but this week it was Mary Tess, the town seamstress. Zarya told me, that's gonna be an important name, Zarya told me that she saw Mary leaving town with a group of refugees just as Trevor did a few days prior. Trevor is the guy whose lore note we read before, so we know he's dead. At least Trevor stopped by my place to say he was leaving. Oh, maybe he didn't die? Maybe he just left a note behind? But Mary, she didn't say goodbye or say anything. What? Or take anything with her. It's all just very strange. As I write this, I'm preparing to meet with the town leaders to work on a way to handle all of the travelers passing through the Darkvale Gate. Hundreds come through every day now. Thankfully most don't stop, but if this keeps up, we will have a real problem on our hands. I don't know what is going on in the capital, but it has everyone concerned. Gregor Bridgewater, Mayor of Darkvale. I wanted to go back to Homestead, turn in the quest while we're porting around, and then I'm gonna finish Darkvale and stop at the nearest Rift Gate. It is right about that time anyway. Yeah, getting to that. Sergeant Serif, any luck with the lumber mill? The lumber mill is clear of the Chthonian spawn. I'll have men sent over there immediately, so it stays that way. A job well done. Thank you. You got a bunch of scrap and reputation. Not much reputation, mind you. What is it looking like with Black Legion? Oh boy. They're taking a while, aren't they? And we need to be killing Ethereal Vanguards to be getting any reputation with them, which is not a faction we can encounter until the first expansion. So unless we complete more quests for them, that's about it when it comes to reputation gain with them. Slugden Bloom from the first expansion. Very valuable material. That's a lot of lore. God damn it, I don't think I'm gonna read it now, because I'm having a hard time even focusing my eyes anymore. I had a long day. And more lore. So much for me thinking there isn't much lore coming up. That's one investments. What is the resistance here? That is a lot of poison and pierce. Not Aether though. And it has actually reasonable health numbers on it. Less damage from Chthonics. Chaos damage. Again, another thing I might save, but that is even more spirit requirements. I would really have to go for Elemental Storm to get the spirit up from there. Otherwise, I'm gonna be waiting for this for a long time. Open the portal. But I could do it here. Actually, yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna change my devotion path to Elemental Storm. Even though it doesn't help me otherwise. Basically none of the devotions that I'm coming up towards are helping me with my current build. They will be useful in the final one. And I absolutely, like, if I was playing it optimally, I should absolutely be playing with Chaos Devotions now and then just swap when the final build is ready. Okay, how much do these hurt? Usually those crystals just one-shot you if you're playing on veteran and your resistances are not great at that point. She does hurt, even though I'm very resistant to her damage. Dead. Another double rare. Champion of the Light. Lots more investments again. Even more chaos damage. Another bunch of health. But even worse resistances than the one that I just picked up. And Zaria's Pendant, that's our Hellhound summoning tool. Do we? Nah, it would cost me all of my crowd control defenses. That is dangerous, and also the max resistance increase is contributing a lot to our tankiness, so no. Okay, I'm not going to invest that skill devotion point. Because I'm gonna go towards Elemental Storm, I guess. Just for the spirit. Which means I need to go to Devil's Crossing and talk to Sedina. There you are.
Clear your mind of regret.
So let me drop this.
Stay strong.
There's our 20 spirit. Which means I can now equip the hat.
Safe storage, no questions.
Move materials again. So the items that I'm considering, I'm gonna move them over here. Clarity, this, and weren't there another set of ropes? These ones. What is this? Flat chaos damage on shoulders. Lifesteal built in. Percent chaos damage, endless rage, that's an onslaught support node, so I'm not using that. Bleeding res. Less than what I'm getting from the shoulders that I'm currently using, but that's fine. Is the elemental tolerable? Yes, it is. Okay, I can use this. Okay, after so long that we've been carrying the same items level after level, we are finally getting some upgrades.
Safe with me, promise. I'll see what's
Drop all of this. Again, filter for chaos damage. 75s. Oh yeah, they're dropping higher now. Okay, so these, which ones are better? Pierce poison. This is just pierce. The poison isn't necessary though, I'm fine on that. So it's more about the other affixes. There's a lot more chaos damage. And more health. And also points to werewolf. Okay, yeah. These are much better. My werewolf is not capped, is it?
Iron well spent.
Like, not even close. Yeah, 16. I have no extra points to werewolf. So yeah, these ones are going.
See anything you like?
This is... yeah, replaceable, that's fine. And this will cost me Pierce and Elemental, but I'm just gonna get a bunch of Pierce. No, I'm actually gonna lose Pierce here. So how bad is it gonna be? Okay, I'm gonna go down on Pierce. Below cap. Poison is already max, so it doesn't matter. Vitality is above max, doesn't matter. Stun duration is whatever. Slow rest, that is one that I'm kind of lacking. I only have 18%. From Sailor's Guide. But relevant percent damage, I will lose some health. I think I can... The health that I lose isn't massive. What is my current total? 6-7. I didn't mean to say that. I'm so sorry. And after swap... 7-3. I'm actually not done. Yeah, 7-3. And my resistances after all that, my elemental dropped. Why did it drop? Because I removed the runestone. Actually, it will still be dropped. Even if I put the runestone back in. Because this costs me elemental res. And too much of it. Maybe I can swap the others, but keep the shoulders for now. How much damage do I gain? This is 60, and this is 50. Wait, what? Why can I not equip them anymore? Oh, I need to do it in the different order. This gives me 30 spirit. Oh shit. So I need to get this on first. So now they're interdependent. If I remove this, the ropes drop off. And now I cannot put this back on. I need this on, this on, this on. If I remove the armor, the head stays. But if I remove the head, the armor drops off. That is a bit icky, but...
Put it to good use.
What can you do? I will gain more spirit as I level up the Berserker Mastery. So it's a temporary issue. Keep the add-on. Do I even need this add-on? Vitality and Chaos Res. I could increase the Chaos Res. Also increases my damage against Chthonics, which are the enemies that are most resistant to my damage usually. Okay, and the shoulders are going to have to wait. I'm also actually just realized I'm going to be soon able to start using a higher level components. Like Spell Scorch Plating is level 75. That will solve a lot of my resistances here. So 5 levels away and I can start addressing a lot of problems, and swap to more ideal gear in terms of damage types. Stop having to worry about, oh, this doesn't give me this resistance, so I cannot use it. That's gonna be nice. Just checking, did I apply? I did. Apply augments. Okay. So with that... yeah, these are all quests that are coming up. Only thing we left behind so far is Grand Priest Zartuzalan, but that can wait. We will be going back there one way or another. For multiple reasons. One for this, and second for Anasteria's quest line once we reach Fort Icon. So yeah, lore notes will have to wait for tomorrow because I'm just having trouble focusing anymore. I'm gonna sort them in some reasonable order. I found them like this. What do I have? Oh, Zarya's journal. These I'm not gonna read because I'm missing Evelyn's note page 1. Hope to find that. Okay, and this will go separately. Okay, so that's it from me tonight, and thank you for watching. And tomorrow we're going to continue and push through Darkfell Gate and finally start reaching into Asterkarn. Now, it will still be base game Asterkarn. We need to reach Fort Icon before we can start heading to the expansion. But then, exciting stuff ahead. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.